So, when last we met on the wilds of Valandiir, crown collectors had embarked on a tournament of sorts with 3 of their members. The sword-fighting championship of the Ellington Classic was well underway. This coming after they made their journey back from the smoldering cave that housed the last remaining member of the Maltrestle estate, Maltrestle clan. And reporting back to the Marquis on a job well done, they were given the keys, so to speak, to the location of their quarry, the thuggish gang known as the Breakers. No sooner did they find out the location was, in fact, another keep buried deep in the woods northeast of Dane. But upon their acceptance into the finals of the sword-fighting competition, the silver-scaled dragonborn Saziros came face-to-face with none other than Castellan, a roguish, masked figure belonging to none other than Breakers themselves. Stepping up to the plate to defend his spot in the finals was Axton Woodman Bloom against his rival, Goramir Bloom, the doppelganger, so to speak, to Barry's Axton, who came fully prepared with swords in hand and armor, ready to face off against what he perceives to be some sort of threat to his family business, this newcomer of the Bloom family, little known to anyone up until recently. Barynor, holding the Windrazor, stepped into the final circle to face off against a large, heavily armored black-furred lion-like tabaxi, wielding spear and shield and twirling them about in excellent fashion. That is where we're going to pick up. Let's move everybody over to the map. All right, and let's see what was okay. So let's have Axton, let's have Barynor, and let's have Saziros. Go ahead and roll your initiative. Now, I want everyone to know that I swapped out all my dice last night for nearly all metal dice, because I want y'all to hear these things drop.
Sound of our impending doom.
Something like that. So, let's do you.
I hope they're not weighted dice.
They definitely weigh something.
Yeah, they're weight metal.
Woohoo, that's a good sign. 2 18s and a natural 20.
Def, you should roll your...
I call shenanigans.
Call shenanigans all you want, but I'll set up a camera if you don't believe me.
Maybe in the future. Thanks,
Woo!
Saziros.
Roll a 20 for initiative.
I will verify that I am staring at 2 18s and a 20.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Ken. All right.
I don't believe nothing.
I'm also staring at an open fridge because nobody knows how to close one in this house, but...
Uh-oh. Wasn't my fault.
My fridge
All right.
at me.
Castellan gets a... It's 4, so that's 20. Okay. We're moving along here. Just give me a second. And Gord. Okay, he gets a 2. Alright. Sending. Okay. So, everyone's set. Here's the scene. Saziros, wielding Anthem's Edge, feeling pretty confident about yourself, having bested your previous foe. Stepping onto the sand, you see an all too familiar visage out of the masked rogue that helped throw you through a window, Brackenshire. That also took your compatriot Maven's hand for a dance at the ball, whom you didn't recognize until dancing was over. unsheaths a large kukri-like blade from one side of his hip and a steel dagger, stiletto type, from his other. Begins twirling them around, not really giving you much of a gaze at first until stopping his motion, stock still, kind of leering at you through the side. And I've got cool pictures. Oh. It is on. So, Saziros, or Kravish, whatever it is you're calling yourself these days, are you ready to meet your fate here in this sand circle of Burlington Classic? Gives his knives a little twirl.
Very well, Castellan, or Harlequin, or whatever you're calling yourself these days. Dark and sinister man, have at thee.
All right, well, you are up first, so go ahead.
Alrighty. That is a 17 to hit.
17 hits. Not wearing much in the way of armor.
Mm-hmm. 7 points piercing, 3 points radiant.
All right, he's going to take that radiant full on. You notice him kind of, as you lunge forward with Anthem's edge, his blades come together, he crosses them and spins them around. You're able to catch his arm, only able to do a little bit of damage compared to what you expect. It is Castellan's turn.
He's at disadvantage.
He is. He is at disadvantage. Oh, because your armor. Right on. Cool. Let's see. Well, where are you? So where are you?
I'm right here. Can't you see me?
Did you move up?
Yeah, you forgot you have to be right next to him to swing with your sword.
Oh, yeah. I moved in order to close field there. Yeah, okay. There we go.
All right. Well, he gets advantage on an attack bonus when he is motionless as a bonus action. He is not moving, so he is actually going to roll a straight roll. That is a nifty little rogue feature, and he is going to get you with his little short sword and his dagger.
Both attacks.
All right. That is going to be, one is a 21, the other is a 22.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, mind you, this last part of the sword fighting battle was all point based. This is damage based, so keep track of your hit points as per usual. So, it's one of these. All right, that's 6 points on one. And 8 points on another. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Somebody's cheating. Wouldn't expect anything less. 13.
Okay, you are poisoned.
Yeah.
You feel a surge of hot, searing pain enter your side as Castellan's stiletto slips in between the leather plates of your armor, and you can feel this really sickly hot sensation, almost like an instant inflamed infection in your ribcage area. He pulls it away, and you see just the slightest trickle of a green liquid that he then swipes aside and scatters on the sand. He is then not going to do anything because he used his bonus action.
And I say that. Somebody's cheating.
All right. Boromir Bloom is next. Let's see. He is going to back up to here. And let's see here. Yeah, he's going to use his bonus action. And you see him pull out one of his daggers, and he throws it right at you.
Cool.
Let's see. Yeah, he's going to use quick toss. That's a 26.
Yep, that'll hit me.
All right, you feel this dagger. This looks like a Bowie knife kind of style dagger. Flip through the air, and it moves with such speed it sticks hard right into your chest. And let's see here. That's going to be 8 points of piercing damage. Incidentally, you do not feel any white hot searing pain.
Uh-huh.
And that's also plus 4 points for his superiority die. Mark that off. Alright. He's going to move up. He's going to attack with his short sword for his second attack. For a 19.
19 is my AC.
19 is your AC.
You said that there was an additional 4 points because of superiority die?
Correct.
Okay, so.
And then that's 6 points of slashing from his short sword. He used his bonus action, so he is going to stay put. Alright, Barynor. You are up. As you ready your Windrazor, this armored tabaxi, kind of with a crescent moon-shaped shield that he places the head of the spear into its little nook. He kind of looks at you, gives you a sniff from across the circle. Ah, you smell like him. What do you wish to do?
Raise an eyebrow. And then charge in to attack.
Right on.
Shoot them up both.
Ooh,
Well, that hits.
god damn. 17. Holy moly.
You don't feel that in the morning.
Right in between his plates of his armor.
Second attack. Not as good. That probably misses.
Yep, that misses. He's going to deflect the second blow of the Windrazor. And let's see. Not really much he can do as a reaction, so okay.
Not much I can do either, so.
Alright. Axton Woodman Bloom, you're up. Bormir's all up in your face.
I'd like to speak with him for a few seconds.
Okay, you want to use your action to talk?
Free action.
Oh no. Gonna take up time talking.
Oh no. Fine, never mind. I won't roleplay.
Well, you can roleplay or you can fight.
I'll move around. What weapons do I see him wielding? A dagger and a short sword?
Correct. Actually, he's technically wielding only a short sword because he threw a dagger at you.
Okay. I'm guessing that hits.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I will make that a menacing attack as well.
Right. It's gonna be a wisdom save. That's an 11.
He is frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Second attack. I don't know if 15 will hit.
No.
Okay. I will then, let's see here. Back up 5 steps.
Alright, he's gonna swing at you.
At disadvantage.
One's a 19, one is a 17.
17 will miss.
Alright.
And then I'll back up 5 more feet. I will then go into my bonus action, Tunnel Defense.
Okie dokie. Is Tabaxi's turn. He is going to whip around. You see him twirling his spear as he whips around behind you. And he's going to grab you right by the shoulder and jam his spear right into your ribs.
Alright.
Oh. Oof. It is a 17 hit.
That does not hit.
All right. That is... ha! He does have another attack. I thought so. Ah, that's even worse. It doesn't hit either. However... no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to make you make a wisdom saving throw and be frightened of him if he missed twice. But he is going to whisper.
I'm so scared.
He's going to whisper very, very quickly in your ear. Yes, definitely smell like him. Saziros, you're next.
I am. Alright. Alright, so I'm just gonna lean, as I'm up there. Let's see here. Alright, straight up attack. Poison, I would expect no less from a cheating cur like you. And that is gonna be Vicious Mockery, actually.
Alright. That is a 14.
Huh, I don't know why it gives me a 15.
What's your
Spell
saving throw?
DC. My wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
So it says 2.
Oh, no, I mean, your spell save DC is 14, right?
No, it's calculating it at 15.
Oh, okay. Well, he got a 14.
Okay.
So you can add your 1d4 psychic damage to that.
And it's actually 2d4 now that I'm above 5th level. He takes 5 points of psychic damage, and he's at disadvantage at his next attack.
Alright. Let's see here. Sure. Alright. 5 points of psychic damage. Did you go for a straight up attack too? Or did you just
have
use
to cantrip and attack, correct?
What's that?
It was like I can cast a cantrip as my bonus action and then attack.
No, you can cast a bonus action spell if your action is used with a cantrip. I believe I have that right.
Okay, if my action was a cantrip, which is what I just did by casting Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, and you can then cast a bonus action spell. Like
I don't think I have any decent bonus action spells. I will. Well, no. I'm assuming by this and the way nobody's talking that we're kind of, it's a free-for-all.
In what
So
way?
I'm going to go ahead and cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
You immediately see the judge counterspell.
Okay. The judge counterspells. Okay, fair enough.
No magic dragonborn.
Alright. Got it.
Yep. Alright, Castellan's at disadvantage. Let's see. He is going to take the bonus action disengage action. This action, and he's gonna all the way over here. And you see him pull just a regular looking dagger out of his pocket, and he kind of twists his hand, and there's actually 2 of them. And he's gonna throw them both at you.
Okay.
And that is going to be a natural 1. Misses, so his dagger actually flies and hits right about here into the sand. The other one, however, is a 19. Right. Ton of damage. That's going to be 7 points of slashing.
From a dagger?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Right. And just used his bonus, so he's good. Ormir Bloom is going to stay over here. He's going to also pull out a hand axe from his belt. And you notice that he's got several weapons kind of lining his belt all the way around his back. And as a bonus action, let's see here. Yes, as a bonus action, he's going to use his second wind. And he's going to heal himself up for 7 points. So he's at... Let's go. Alright. That's his bonus action. He's going to toss his dagger at you. He just pulled out of his belt, or his hand axe, excuse me. That's a natural 20.
Well, it's a disadvantage.
Why is it a disadvantage? Remind me.
Oh, he's feared.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the other one is a natural 3, so that's not going to hit. So his dagger lands somewhere over here. That's going to end his turn. Barynor, you're up.
Turn around since he's behind me. Kind of still give him an odd, quizzical look at his comment, but I'll take some swipes at him with the wind razor. That doesn't hit. We already established it. So 24 hit?
24 does hit.
9 slash. I'm just gonna move over here.
Alright. Al-Shiri. Axie. Taking some damage. And you know what? Barry, I feel bad because I had Hystael say something to... so I'll give you a free action to say something to finish.
No, I'm good. That's fine.
You're next.
I'll move 5 feet in. He's 10 feet away. I'll hit with my halberd again.
Alright.
He said that he just took that hand axe and threw it at me, or the dagger, and that was it?
No, it
he
was...
still has his short sword out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have the reach advantage, so I will attack. Ooh, that's a miss.
Okay. Let's see here. Yep.
Okay, I'll make my second attack. That one should hit 22.
Well, it would, except he was moving. Oh, no, he wasn't moving. It does hit. If he was moving, it'd be different. He decided to stay where he is.
Okay, so since it hits, I'll make him another menacing attack.
Alright. That's going to be another natural 19.
Okay, so he's not feared of me.
And that's 13
I will
slashing.
use... Yeah. I will use my action surge.
Okay. That menacing attack damage sticks, though, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay, 12 more slashing damage, I believe.
Alright.
And that last one will miss.
Okay, wow, what a round.
I will then back up again, and bonus action... Tunnel defense.
Right, he is no longer frightened of you. It is Al-Shiri. His turn. He is going to touch. You see Al-Shiri touch his own chest. He's going to heal himself up for 5. And you see that's not going to work because you can't do magic.
Oh,
So he doesn't do that.
Yeah, let's be like, hold up.
Well, he's paladin, so he can't counterspell that.
All right, he's just.
Well, I assume paladin, anyways.
He's gonna bash you over the face with his shield. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, that's an 18. Is an 18 hit?
That hits.
All right, he's gonna open you up for a second attack. So let's get his bludgeoning damage out of the way. That is gonna be 8 points of bludgeoning. And he's gonna stab you in the chest for what about a 17?
17 misses.
All right. So as he cracks you over the face with his shield, he's trying to open you up, but you kind of see it coming, and you parry his spear attack and deflect it off to the side. And going to use his movement and round behind you again. And he's going to whisper in your ear. So, tell me, my brother and his wretched master. Oh, I forgot other pictures. Hold on. Oh, I'm messing around. I got this one. And just because...
Mano a mano.
Or
I do.
Mono a Kato.
I do have a shield.
Well, not in that
but
picture, you don't.
That's fine.
All right. Saziros, you are up. Top of the round.
We are
All right. I will go ahead and close the gap. As I'm coming in, I'll say I thought this was a sword fighting competition and not a dance-off. Then I will make an attack.
All right.
Well, I'm at disadvantage because I'm poisoned.
That's right. That does not hit. And let's see. Yeah, that's it. Is going to. Let's see if this works. Just to see. He's going to move behind you, and he is going to bonus action hide, which I need a perception check from you. That's a 19 on stealth.
Well, I'm at disadvantage on that too because I'm poisoned. Oh, stealth, excuse me, not perception.
All right, so he was at disadvantage for that one shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's no longer at disadvantage.
Nope. And that was a 6 for perception.
Okay, he is hidden behind you. You don't see him. And he is going to plunge both his kukri and his short sword right into you, which means he's going to have advantage on both. That's a 22 for the short sword. That's going to garner sneak attack. And that's going to be a not great 14 with the kukri. So that's a miss.
No, 14 is my AC.
Oh boy. Well, he doesn't get sneak attack on both hits. So let's do.
Yeah, well.
It's going to do the kukri first. That's low. That's only 5 points of slashing on the kukri. However, the short sword is going to be, man, again, rolling ones on this thing. That's 5 for the short sword, plus 5, 9. Is it 6? Oh, it is 6 because it's a D6. 5, 9, 15, 19 points of sneak attack damage. That's gonna end his turn.
It almost ends me.
Alright, Saziros not looking too good. This Castellan makes quick work. Roguish skills. Gormir is going to move. Actually, he's going to move right in. So go ahead and take your tunnel fighting opportunity of attack.
And I'll make that menacing as well.
Right?
If it hits.
Okay. That hits.
26 does hit.
That hits, and he got an 18 in his wisdom save.
Well, I still haven't rolled it there. Yeah, 18 beats it, that's fine.
Hey, you're doing pretty good. He looks tough, though. He's taking these hits kind of in stride. It looks like, I mean, he's got a scar up his eye. You're noticing little nicks and scratches all over his body, but he seems to be taking it without any kind of issue. So, he is going to attack you with his short sword. It's pretty good. That's a natural 17. Plus 4 is 22, 3, 21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah. He's also going to use a frighten effect, so I need you to roll a wisdom save.
Nope.
Alright. One of his die. Alright, so that is going to be a total of 15 slashing from his short sword and his menacing attack.
Oh, 15, you said?
Yep. And he is going to spend another superiority die. I need you to make a strength save. 25. He tries to get his short sword in where you're holding your halberd and wrestle it out of your grip, and you manage to just hold on to it just barely. And in retaliation for that, he's close enough. He's going in for a headbutt. That's a natural 20! I really do need a camera. I'm rolling high today, and I don't want you guys to think I'm cheating you. Anyway, it's not great because he's hitting you with his head, so it's 1 plus 5. It's 6 points of bludgeoning damage. But you are now bleeding from a cut right above your eyebrow. It's kind of like bleeding right into your eye, and you can it's kind of blurring your vision a little. Very dirty fighting, but he's getting it done. Barynor!
A look of realization comes across my face, and I'll keep swiping away with the Wind Razor. Just kind of ignoring him.
Okay.
That misses terribly, though.
Yep.
That hits.
That hits.
Nine more, chipping away.
You're doing pretty good. I mean, he's looking about maybe 50% total vitality. He's taken some hits. He's given some hits. It's pretty. I'll be honest with you. It's aside from Saziros' fight, it's pretty even right now. But unfortunately, Saziros, you're just not built for like non-magic melee. So.
Poison weapons.
It's the way. What poison weapon? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that's 9. Yep. Okay. Cool. Is that it for you?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
All right. Axton, Woodman, Bloom, you're next.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to move around him.
Okay.
And then I will make my 2 attacks. 21 to hit?
That hits. Wait. No, he was moving, so that actually doesn't hit.
Okay. And my second attack.
See if I have to spend a dice for that.
Possibly.
You're
Sounds
also
like
at
a maneuver.
You're also afraid. Oh, you already wrote that in. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me see.
Sounds like it's a parry maneuver.
No, it's
like
something
maybe.
else. Not moving when you're not moving. I just saw it. Oh wait, I think it is. That will hit. So he's not using a die for that. It's
Okay. That's 12 more slashing damage.
oh no, it's evade. It's evasion.
That would probably use a superiority dice. We'd have to roll it to see if it ups his AC, I believe.
That's true. That's going to be a 27. 27. The first one would hit.
The first one.
Okay, so that's another.
Okay, so then I'll make my secondary attack. So I don't have the rules for evasion. Is that added to all of his AC till the end of turn, or is it just that one attack?
Oh, please. Go ahead and roll your die. Let's see.
Okay. Well, 12. That will miss anyway.
Let's see. I mean, I'm gonna rule until I do it differently, which doesn't matter because you wouldn't have hit him. But I'm gonna rule that it's at least your entire turn until his turn or something. Let's see here.
Last no longer than the end of your turn.
All right. Yeah. It is Alshiri's turn.
Oh, I'm gonna do bonus action, sorry,
Okay.
and use my second link.
Go for it. Heal up.
So D10 plus 6. So I gain 12.
Alshiri's going in for a 2 spear attacks. One is an God. A natural 20. One is an 18. That first spear is 16 points of damage, of piercing damage. The other one is 13 points of piercing damage. Saziros.
No, didn't... Wait. How much damage did you do me?
15?
15 total?
Then...
Okay.
Oh, wait. 12 4 is 16, and then 9 and 4 is 13. Sorry. That's not a 9, that's a 6. That's, 10. Sorry.
How much total damage?
That would be 23.
All right.
24.
24. Alright.
Yes, Saziros, you are next.
Alright, with those two swords in my back, I let out a roar, I turn around, and I will use my metallic breath weapon to cast an enervating breath.
Enervating breath. Okay.
He must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw, or become incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Is it con?
Con.
I lost the dice. That is a 12.
So he is staggering like Mortal Kombat before they go finish him.
Yeah, he can't move.
He is incapacitated and weak.
He is all freaked out. Sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I... Is it possible to use like a bonus action or something?
Yeah,
to
go ahead. It's
knock the weapons out of him?
Go ahead, man. It's
I'm
fun.
gonna take the weapons out of his hand and throw them across the way.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you do that. He is disarmed at the moment. Although you do see several weapons clinging to his belt.
Alright. And then I'm going to move back to where I threw his weapons.
Where did you throw him? Did you throw him outside of the ring or into the sand behind you?
Yeah, I threw him out of the ring.
Okay. So you just pick where you threw them and go. You can go over to where they're at. She did.
No. If they're outside of the ring, if I threw them outside of the ring, I'm just going to move back.
Well, it is his turn. He can do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of lolling there, just like, whoa. You notice, however, his, actually, he's not very badly injured, so he's looking actually pretty good. That's going to end his turn.
Mm-hmm.
Boromir Bloom is up. And he's going for 2 attacks, one with a short sword, and he's going to pull another dagger out of his belt. One's a... Ooh. Wait. Right here. Uh, 13 does not hit. However, what about a 9? No, not 19. 18. 18 doesn't hit you either, does it?
18 doesn't.
Okay. He is going to use a die to turn that precise. And that's a 22.
That will hit.
Alright. What am I doing? We're gonna say that's definitely another 6 points of slashing. He's going to take his action surge. Man. One's a 20, one's 7.
Well, the 20 will hit.
Yeah, okay. 8 points of slashing damage. And let's see here. I don't think I can do anything else with him. Nope. Barynor, you're up.
Alright. Looking a little hurt. Alright, I'm gonna dance over to his side and take some swipes.
Okay.
17? That misses.
That misses. Yep.
17, I think he missed. Not great. Okay. That's all I can
Both
do.
of your attacks with the Wind Razor. Whoosh, whoosh. He parries one with his shield and just completely dodges out of the way with the other. And he just kind of snarls at you with this taunting glare. Axton, you're up.
Okay. Well, this is my last-ditch effort, and I'm no longer at disadvantage. Oh, I failed that one.
Natural 1.
And my last attack. 18 to hit.
That's a miss.
Ooh, I'm surprised.
It's got pretty impressive looking armor. It looks like it's kind of a cross between medium and light armor, but there are these interwoven plates that look like you can kind of, where you've been slashing him, you've been slashing the cloth away. You can see that there's actually metal plates underneath some of the cloth of this armor, but it's very free moving. It's an impressive set. It's not exactly your color style, but it seems to be doing the job for him, for sure.
Let me see. Bonus action, tunnel defense.
Alright. Al-Shiri is going to move around behind you. And he is going to do his tried and true method of stabbing you with his spear. One is an 18, one is a 7.
Well, 18
hits. That's going to be a 9 points of slashing damage, or piercing damage.
Okay.
Both of his attacks. Let's see. No attack. Yeah. It's weird. It says a creature frightened of you within 10 feet takes half your level psychic damage on its turn, has a speed of 0, but I don't know how you're able to make him afraid. Doesn't say. Oh well. You're not shook. Saziros, you're up.
Alright, I'll move back a little bit further, back to where his dagger struck the ground. I'm gonna pick it up. During this time, and it was like, you lost something, and I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Cool. That's let's see here. I'm going to say you have advantage on the attack because he's incapacitated, right?
Yeah, well, I'm at disadvantage because I'm,
Oh, so it's a straight roll.
So it'll be a straight roll.
Right on.
Straight roll. 17.
17 hits.
For 5 points of damage.
Alright. Yeah, that hit, it strikes him right in his arm, and it shakes him out of his stupor, and he just kind of looks around and looks at you. You see his eyes narrow through his mask, and he pulls the dagger out of his arm.
Joe, you're talking Aura of Conquest?
Yeah, probably. He is a conquest.
Okay, it's a channel divinity that would make
which he's not going to do that.
Okay, just wanted to clarify for you.
Well, Saziros.
That was my attack. That was my movement. Don't have anything decent for a bonus action. So, yeah, I'm done.
Well, he's going to take that dagger that you tossed at him. He's going to throw it right back at you again.
All right.
For an 18.
And that will hit.
Hystael. That's going to be 6 points of piercing damage. He is going to rush forward, attack you with his kukri.
You mean the one that's out in the yard?
Oh, good point. Well, I got a natural 20, but he's going to pull another dagger out. So fortunately for you, it's a 1d4 instead of a 1d6. That's 6 plus 10 points of piercing damage with his dagger.
I'm down. I'm out.
You are out. Hystael is victorious. The judges approach. He kind of just kneels down right into your ear. Says, "That's where you've been, dragon. Out of the ground." He sort of stands up, kicks you across the face, And because he's evil and I'm a little evil...
I didn't hear what he said. You were mumbling. I couldn't hear what he said.
He said, that's where you belong, Dragon Bull. On the grit of the ground. He's going to kick you hard in the face. And just because he's evil and I'm evil, you lose a death saving throw.
Okay.
Alright. It's going to end his turn. It is Goromir Bloom's turn. He's feeling a little vicious, too.
Uh-huh.
So, let's see, how many do I got? I still do stuff.
1 or 2.
He has 2. Alright. He's going to spend a bonus action to... He's going to spend 1 superiority die. He's going to feint and give himself advantage. On short sword attack, that's going to be a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And let's roll that damage. It's 11 points of piercing damage as he stabs you right between the plates of your armor. His other attack is a natural 13 plus...
I'm out.
You're down. Oh boy. Now he does not do anything shitty like Castellan did, but he is going to kind of wipe his short sword clean on the cloth that dangles from between your legs. He's just going to kind of regard you with this sideways glance, give a little, and then get up and leave.
Okay.
Barynor, you are up. It is you and the Tabaxi.
Alright. I'm getting pretty desperate here. So I'm going to look him... Yeah, I'm going to move over here first. I'm going to look him in the face and say... Chicago. And I'm going to make 3 attacks with the Wind Razor.
Now's the time.
Oh, come on.
Natural 20, that makes
There
up
we go.
for it.
Not great on the damage, but... Oh.
Yes. Alright, I don't need to worry about the turn order because that's all that's left.
Alright.
So he catches the Wind Razor kind of moves a little bit faster than you have the ability to handle it. It's almost like there's a force moving your hands, and you're not quite attuned to it as well as you thought at the very least. And as it's doing that, you're swinging wildly, and it looks like Alshiri is able to kind of dodge one. He catches one under the arm guard in his armpit area, which slashes him, draws a little bit of blood, but then he kind of bats away with his spear in the other. And as he does that, he's going to stab at you for 2 attacks.
Okay.
One is actually they're both misses. Well, no, wait. Does a 17 hit you?
17.
Okay, yeah, they both miss. So he kind of stabs at you, and as you're kind of reeling from having the Wind Razor carried away, there's an extra bit of space, and you're able to just kind of do one of those dodges where you swivel your hips around. Which brings us back to you, and I'll get the music back.
Going back at it with the Wind Razor. But just 2 attacks. Oh, you kidding me?
Yeah, both. You guys are swinging wildly. Kind of looks at you as he kind of he actually catches the Wind Razor in the little nook of the crescent moon of his shield and kind of bats it away. Just kind of looks at you. See, they do not teach you to spar, disintegrate, do they? Typical. He's going to attack you. One is a 18, right. One's a natural 1.
18.
All right. That's going to be 9 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
You're up.
Alright. I got nothing left to lose. I'm going to drop the shield and pull out one of my daggers. So 2 strikes with the Wind Razor and then an offhand with the dagger. Come on. There we go.
Razor hits.
Okay. And then bonus action. Alright, 9 more.
Alright. He takes it. The wind
Going all in on that one.
The wind razor you see it kind of clip the side of his head, and a little stream of blood starts to stain the fur and trickle over his chest plate. However, your offhand attack with your dagger, he just swipes that aside with his spear, and he starts twirling it over his head. He jams it right straight on into your gut. One of those, that's a 19 to hit on one and a 22 to hit on the other.
I'm down. I'm sure.
One is 9 points of piercing. The other one is 6 points. You go down.
He's still down.
Yeah. I was
I'm
at
not
4.
going to take a death save from you.
All right.
So, it's Tabaxi. You don't actually know his name yet. He just kind of crouches down over your crumpled form, and just as you start to lose consciousness, you hear him whisper into your ear, "Tell Jen that his brother Al-Shiri sends his regards, and I'm coming for him next." Thus endeth the combat. 3 of you are pulled from the circles off into the corner, and at this point, I'll say Koza, Avon, Uno, Atgeir, and Drea all see this, and they rush to your aid. So, if the 4 of you would like to decide what you would like to do to aid your party, all 3 of them are unconscious. One of which really took a beating by Castellan, as he is his armored face has got kind of a crack in it where he was kicked.
I'm going to immediately rush over to Saziros and use 3 of my D8s, I believe I get, or 6s, to heal him.
Okay.
So Saziros, you get 6. You get 9 points back.
All right, I'm in the positive.
Uno's going to use Mage Hand, and he's going to pat everyone on the back with it.
Very good.
Take a death save.
And only can lift 5 pounds, so I would say it's a little too weak to cause any real damage. You can subtract a death save if you want. I'm cool with that.
No. I'll take
Mage Hand can't attack, so
Yeah.
can't do any damage. Unless I picked up a rock.
Gear's going
You
to...
can start putting sand
dropped on
into
your
my
face.
mouth. You can put sand into my mouth until I suck.
Pocket sand. This is a good opportunity to gather pocket sand, just saying. Lots of sand around you. But Drea is going to kneel next to Barynor's crumpled form and apply a healing potion to the wounds of his body. And you rise up for 9 points of healing. And Atgeir, feeling a little guilty that he hasn't done anything, is going to follow suit with one of the potions handed to him by Drea and apply it to Axton's wounds for 5 points of healing. Are both conscious.
Well, that could have gone better.
Yeah, that smarts. I'm not happy with that.
Yeah, the 3 of you are in rough shape, and you can hear the clang and clatter of swords around you as people are sparring in the circles and getting ready for the championship bout. Who will remain victorious is anybody's guess at this point.
And it's not my concern right now. I'm going home.
Yeah. Well, for temporary.
And I would say, Saziros, there's something wrong. You are not feeling well at all.
No.
You feel the side where your ribs were attacked with that initial strike is just a burning, white-hot, searing pain.
Yeah. And I described this sensation over to Maven. See if that's something she recognizes, or even Barynor.
Maybe something I recognize. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, everything he's describing, I'm not even make you roll for it. You definitely recognize this as some form of poison. You inspect his wound. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Okay, medicine check. Ooh, 6.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a vast knowledge of poisons. You basically know that they have different effects, different side effects, and it looks like this one is mostly causing him pain. And there are a number of remedies that can be used to antidote or counteract the effects of a poison. Several antidotes come to mind. But without really knowing what this poison is, you're unclear exactly what route to go down. But he's in horrible, horrible pain. He's writhing around.
So you're saying the rat bastard poisoned me?
Absolutely. Go to the temple and see if one of the clerics there can help you.
Only we had a paladin.
Hey, y'all did, but the third session he quit.
Yeah.
Any of you don't even know him. As a matter of fact, none of you would probably know him. But maybe Ken. I think Ken was around like one session before he quit. Yeah,
We got 2 clerics, and none of you can do anything? Useless.
Noah helped him. Anyway.
Can't cure poison, though.
True.
Let me see about that real quick.
Do we need like a lesser restoration or something?
I might
Three
have
hippies
just that.
can't do anything.
I'm checking. Give me a second. I do have lesser restoration. Alright, I'm gonna cast it on Saziros and cure his poison.
The poison effect ends. You can feel the red veins that are surrounding your vision start to recede. And that stabbing, searing pain in your side starts to subside just a little bit in place of a stab wound. And the pain that goes along with it.
I'm surprised they allowed poison in this competition.
Well,
I think that's a little unfair.
I want to talk to a judge.
Yeah.
there are many. You see them starting to tally up points and ushering people on and off the stage, or on and off the fighting circles. There's a dwarf with a kind of a slick back black mohawk, no beard. He's tallying points. There's a human and another one. It looks like a half elf. He's also observing a group.
Yeah. I approach one of them and I start to plead my case in the fight. I describe what I was feeling. Maven gives her account on what she discovered, as does Koza talk about what he had to do in order to stop things.
So you approach the elf. He's about 5'2", long, dark hair, pointed ears. He's got an eye patch over one eye, and he's got a kind of a clubbed a wooden leg. He looks like he's seen some battles in his time.
Shit.
He just kind of looks over at you, and he looks down on his board, and he says, "You
I am Saziros.
Saziros,
And I wish to file a grievance."
He kind of listens to what you have to say and kind of pricks his neck and pulls over one of the dwarf, and he says, "And who is your opponent?"
I tell him it was Castellan.
Castellan. Ah, yes, circle 2. He should be, and he kind of directs his gaze over to one of the other fighting circles where there is a very lonely-looking black-furred tabaxi just kind of twirling his spear around and waiting, and no sign of Castellan anywhere.
He got what he wanted.
When we see him, we will surely bring the justice to this case. And where are you staying in case we want to question you further?
I tell him we're at the Hargrove estate as guests of Lord Hargrove.
Ah, the Hargroves. Very good. Make a note of that. If we see him, we shall bring him in for questioning.
Thank you.
Sorry your match was sullied by such unsportsmanlike conduct. This is not something that we take lightly here at Ellington Classic. We'll give this a full attention.
Thank you. I turn around and I'm utter to you. It's like, they're not gonna.
All right. Maven, did you want to bring them
He got
to...
what he wanted.
Sorry. Maven, did you want to bring them to the temple?
He's been curious. I don't really see that being necessary.
As this, we're going to do a bit of a rewind and deal with a couple people here. As the sword fighting competition was going on, Koza, you're standing on the sidelines, and you kind of find yourself not bored, but especially since the match took a few minutes to get started in the beginning, you think back to your vision you had the other night of a forested scene at night, stars twinkling above you, crescent moon beaming above the canopies, and a strange arrangement of lights like eyes, six to be as a matter of fact. And you dwell on this, and you dwell on this, and you just can't wrap your mind around it until something of the vision becomes a little clearer, and you find yourself recalling in a little bit greater detail that of a shadow, immense, towering over you. Looks like this.
Oh boy.
Oh, snap.
Can I move at all?
Now, you're just recalling what you saw. It's not exactly an interactive memory. It's just a flash, an image that is brought clearer. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Oh boy. Ooh, not great. That's a... it's a 9.
Yeah, this is an unknown creature or entity. You don't know if this is something that lives in Valandiir, or is a mythical beast, or a god. You're unclear. You haven't been as close to the Moonweaver enough, perhaps, to be familiar with this type of beast of legend or spiritual energy, and might take you inquiring to someone who knows more than you. We're going to move over to you know.
What do you know?
Partway through the sword fighting competition, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I turn
around and you see the familiar visage of Minas Holland, your recently acquired seedy underbelly contact who you put in touch with Marquis. Looks like that. It's kind of a grimy individual, not particularly well dressed, peddling goods trying to peddle his wares to the onlookers around him, and he just kind of gives you a nod and says, "Oi, you know, right?"
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to say thanks a lot for sticking up for me there and introducing me to the Marquis. He's actually got me on a bit of a run, bringing some goods to people down south, and well, just wanted to say thank you. My way of saying thank you is, well, yeah, I acquired this in a game of cards. I'm not exactly sure what it goes to, but it looks important. He slides a piece of ragged paper into your hand.
All right, I read the paper.
It's in the chat. A little hard to just read to you. just kind of watches you kind of looking over it, and he says, "Oh no, I don't make much sense of it either. The guy I won, scrap of paper, he says it has something to do with Grimtide Reef."
I take the paper.
It is what looks like the perhaps bottom corner of a larger piece of parchment. Got 8 little symbols inked onto it.
I'm gonna hold on to this and show maybe the marquee.
Well, you guys are currently standing on the outskirts of the fighting circles. Fortunately, the 3 of you have lost your sword fighting competitions. Day is yours. 3 of you are heavily hurt. What do you wish to do with your day?
Go home.
And pout and just recount the battle to see what I could have done differently.
The words "not lose" ring about your mind.
Well, I did lose honorably. He did fight honorably. So, I have that.
Yeah,
I couldn't sense any cheating
go
whatsoever.
ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, Barry.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, you are bewildered by Goromir's fighting style, his technique, the finesse at which he moved, the precision at which he flung his dagger. You have never in your life experienced somebody this well skilled in the art of war. You're
I can understand that. I'm wrapping my brain around it now, and he's come from a family of mercenaries. I'm a farmer. I learned how to fight because I had to.
Yeah. He bested you in fair and square, and he was a little shitty about it, but he cleaned his sword off on your armor. But other than that, he kind of left you alone and sized you up sufficiently, gather, before you slipped unconscious. But your group makes its way back to the Hargrove estate.
As we're headed back, I'm going to pull out my sending stone to Jen and speak into it. I just had a painful encounter with your brother. And just leave it at that.
There's no response.
Okay. I didn't expect any.
Gates of the Hargrove estate greet you. The guards part way, open the door for you, and Balkan, the elderly majordomo of the mansion, greets you as you enter the front door. My word, you've seen better days.
Yep.
Oh, good lord, Mr. Saziros. And he just sees that you're just bleeding from, several wounds in your body.
Yep.
Quickly.
Oh, nothing a hot bath and a cold drink can't take care of.
Yes, right away, of course. Fetch the nurses. Bring water, hot water. Draw a bath. And he ushers you 3 into a room upstairs, along with some housing staff that tend to your wounds, and we'll say that just today, restore. Saziros, you get 6 points of healing. Axton, you get 7 points of healing, and Barynor, you receive 7 points of healing as well. That's just from their efforts.
We also count this as a short rest.
Sure. Takes about an hour. Cleaning you up, getting you nice and comfy. But definitely worse for the wear.
I'm going to use 2 hit dice to recover some hit points.
I'll do the same.
All
Actually, if
right.
we're going to be taking a long rest, might as well just wait for the end of the day. Do we have any plans? Are we going anywhere?
Tonight is the Heart of the Empress at the Silver Sin Inn.
Oh, Jesus. That's my gig. how fudged up is my armor?
I don't know. You tell me. You went to 0. How many is that?
Well, no, I mean it's like I'm not as far as the oil. I mean, how physically fudged up is it? Do I have to find like a leather worker to get it repaired?
Good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he was actually.
Or I just keep casting mending on you over and over and over.
Yeah, that could work. It is magic armor.
And I am a leather worker.
It's and it wouldn't the tears and cuts and scrapes wouldn't amount to anything bigger than a foot. So what little damage there is, Axton manages to repair through magic and leather work. But yeah,
Many thanks.
it got pretty screwed up. It's not enough to be damaged from a mechanic standpoint.
All right. Well, I'm going to spend the afternoon just to myself, just playing, just trying to like regain my center, get my mojo back for the evening's competition.
Go ahead and give me a charisma check. Proficiency bonus.
Not good.
What's your proficiency?
Oh, plus my proficiency? 3, so 12.
12. Your pride is shot right now. It was a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
You did not enjoy seeing that guy again. Now that you know he is part of the group that you have been pursuing. You're also recounting the time that you saw him at the ball and didn't do anything about it. And the fact that this guy was within your grasp and slipped through your fingers yet again, it's just enough to damage your pride to where you're trying to plink along with your mandolin, and even Anthem's Edge feels like it's in a way sort of abandoned your talents and lays motionless at your side. Not feeling too good about yourself right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I try and cheer him up. I'm like, hey, man, we were both trying something we aren't exactly good at. We did our...
Yeah.
But don't beat yourself up too much about it.
That guy.
I know. We'll get it. Together.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Barynor, you get inspiration. You get a reroll.
Alright.
Is there anything anybody else would like to do before the day's out? It is early evening at this point, about 4 or 5 o'clock. Not quite time for dinner. Definitely not time for bed.
Is there like a... Would I know of like a place of other Moonweaver worshippers to like gather, or no? Is that like a foreign thing to me?
The Moonweaver is not an approved deity within the Empire, so finding somebody like that would be a little challenging. So, what would you like to do to track somebody like that down?
Let me see what spells I got. I don't have locate object, do I? I don't think so. Oh, I do have locate object. I'm going to cast locate object and look for holy symbols of the Moonweaver.
Hey, what's the range?
1,000 feet.
Okay. Oh, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Say with advantage.
Okay. That's a 19.
Takes you about, I want to say about 2 hours walking around town. All of a sudden you get a little...
We have a ping.
I immediately take off in that direction.
At a blistering pace, pushing old ladies and children out of your way, you muscle through the crowd towards a small tavern. Sitting at the tavern, at a corner table, notice the dreadlocked furbolg that you encountered the basement metal party at the Duke's estate during the classic ball. He's got kind of whitish-gray skin, whitish-gray dreadlocked hair. Just looks like he's nursing a pint of ale.
Wait, that guy at the Bloodface concert?
And the same.
Wow, small world. Let's see. I'm just gonna kind of saunter up to the table that he's sitting at and sit across him.
Okay. He just kind of looks over he's got kind of a long tangled mess of hair. Wearing kind of, looks like perhaps a long merchant's coat. It's got pockets on it.
How is he, like, cognitive-wise? Like, is he able to function?
Oh yeah, he watches you approach, and you stop at his table. He just kind of gives you a look over and gestures for you to join him. As you sit down, he just says, "Oh, what can I do, a fellow furbolg of the forest?"
Well, I was actually looking for some more religious advice. You see, and I pull out my holy symbol. You see, I've had a vision, and I'm having trouble interpreting what it means. I was hoping you could help me.
You identify yourself as a follower of the Moonweaver, or what?
Yeah, I pull out my holy symbol and put it on the table.
Well, he just kind of reaches into his pocket. He takes out a very simple silver moon shape. It's much less elegant than yours. Certainly doesn't have any of the little vine filigree growing all over it. Sit down. He takes out of his pocket. He puts out what looks like a star of the Venom Dragon. Takes out of another pocket, and you see him pull out a golden sun medallion. He just starts unloading about 6 or 7 of these various religious symbols, and lays them out on the table. He goes, "I win." You're a follower of the Moonweaver, are you?
I am.
She is quite a matron. As well versed in the ways of Night Mistress as perhaps you might be. I do my best to stay versed in some of the fringe religions, so to speak, as well as some of the major. You could call me something of a historian. And pulls out a tome. Kind of a small book, but thick. Something that looks like he's been keeping on his person for a while. It's tattered on the edges, and the first half of this book, the pages are browned as looks like he's been flipping through them more than the others. You notice that the back half appear to be blank as he's flipping through them. Aha. That's right. Okay, well, exactly is this vision that you say you've had?
Well, it starts with me kind of staring over this moonlit balcony of trees, as if I'm standing over a large forest, and then these eyes appear in like a V formation, that's a set of 6. And as I'm remembering it, they seemed to have belonged to a large horned beast, and that's all I can remember. And it's puzzling my mind, and I can't really wrap my head around it.
Horned beast, like a dragon?
No, but more like a buffalo or something like that. And it had these large antlers. It was a very strange sight.
Antlers. Let me see. And he starts flipping through, and doesn't seem to come up with anything in his religious texts. You sure it's indicative of the Moonweaver?
This vision felt the same as all the other visions I've had coming from the Moonweaver. I mean, I don't have any reason to believe it's a different vision.
Oh? Not seeing anything in the texts that I've got here. Just be a strange creature. Let me see. Let's see. Tell you what. I don't really have that much knowledge about large legendary creatures, but there's a guy I trade with every now and then who is always looking for information on large pieces of game, big game. And if anybody knows anything about large beasts, it's him. So what you're going to want to do is visit my friend Dion Baldric.
Dion Baldric.
He usually hangs out at the Ghost Temple. It's a kind of a bar on the west side of town.
All right. Thank you, friend. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Harry.
Harry. Got it. Well, thank you, Harry, for your
You're
help.
welcome. What was your name?
Koza. And I shake his hand.
It's bigger than yours. It's not quite... It doesn't quite swallow your hand, but this is a big furbolg, and he looks a little out of place in a place like this. He's very hunched over his drink, kind of sitting like a instead of a chair, it's more of a stool to him, and kind of gives you a nod, like to see you again.
All right, I will stand up and walk out and head to the Ghost Temple.
All right. It's going to take you a little time to find it. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, and while you're doing that...
Another 19.
Even. Yeah. What's up? I feel like I've been ignoring you.
It's okay.
In your rounds as you make your way back, you definitely know the pull of your holy symbol as you pass by the Holy Temple of Palor, as it's about a quarter mile down the road from the community that leads to the Hargrove estate. And after getting everybody settled in, you see that Vulcan actually passes by you and gives you a small scroll. It's wound with iron and a wax seal, that of the Dawnfather.
Okay.
It's a message that instructs you to report to the temple at once.
I head over immediately.
The temple is aglow with activity. It appears that there is a small retinue of servitors and clerics that have visited the temple from afar, dressed in white and gold robes, some carrying shields, some carrying spears, are priests and sisters of the Dawn. There is a full congregation, as there is currently a service being held. Looks to be some kind of celebration. While you are deeply seated in the roots of the Pelorian religion, you've always found yourself a little uncomfortable. The pious nature of the Dawnfather's study. You always found a practical approach was best, that protecting those who were perhaps a little more devout than you satisfied your want of devotion to your god. However, at the pulpit, raising his hand and a bright searing light emitting from it as he speaks, see a radiant-looking fellow, a huge mane of red hair and a pointed beard, and he looks kind of like this guy. As he speaks with a commanding presence, you can hear the gesticulations of the crowd that he is enrapturing. On that third day, Father of the Sun bestowed upon his children great power for their devotion. You see, the Gnomish fellow, Wilhelm, who you've met a couple times at this point, kind of scan the crowd and rest his eyes on you and toddles over to where you're at. Comes to about your mid-chest. Bald head, gray beard. Mr. Maven, thank you so much for your speedy response. You'll follow me. We shall not bother Shepethor during our meeting. Let's go downstairs.
Okay. Follow him downstairs.
As you leave the room, you can feel the energy from this priest of Palor at the pulpit just beaming, and restoring perhaps the faith and goodwill feelings of those that he's speaking to. You put that out of your mind as you follow Wilhelm down to the basement where you exorcised a certain demon from a certain sword. And kind of feel a little more comfortable down here as you can feel your knuckles start to tighten and tense as you can hear somebody smacking into a training dummy that you yourself have exercised with. See your frame, Grutha, female half-orc. She is smacking into this training dummy and making a real effort of it. Mr. Grutha? Yes, she's here. And you see Grutha just kind of got her back to you. She's one more smack into the dummy, spins on her heel, out of breath, to a glistening sweat ending about her skin. Thank you, Deacon. On over here.
I head over to see you again.
You too. Oh, what have you been up to lately? She just kind of wipes the sweat from her brow.
A little this, a little that, attending the festivities and such.
I saw your name at the unarmed combat. Do you intend to compete?
Of course. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh. No, you tend to run around with a certain group of mercenaries. What are their names again?
Crown collectors.
Ah, yes. Crown collectors. Not exactly a quiet group, are they?
Not really, no.
Well, I may just have something that needs doing.
Really?
And it could use your friend's help.
I'm listening.
No. Being a monk of the Allhammer, we tend to get along with those of the Dawnfather. Well, it's in our best interest to coexist peacefully, so to speak. That being said, I know that the Allhammer's devotees have a specific hatred for the undead. We share no love for the walking rot ourselves, I know the followers of Pelor have a specific disdain for these people.
Yes.
Dean was attacked about a week ago from a orcish warlock or sorcerer wielding a garrison of undead soldiers watched on the front gate of Dane. I hear that you were involved in their eradication or repulsion.
Was indeed.
Well, trying to, shall we say, on the offensive and root out this cult from its place of origin. Trouble is, just don't know where they're hiding. I'm gonna put together a task force of such. Somebody that can find them before they find us. Find out where they're coming from. Now, we know they're attacking from somewhere in the east, and if I remember correctly, or portions of the Empire's outer reaches, Brackenshire and the Needle even, have suffered attacks, so something tells me coming from somewhere in the east and marching west. So, along with our Pelorian counterparts, we've been sending scouts into the forests to the far east. Some of them come back with nothing, some of them scars from battle amongst the wilds, but one such grouping has not yet returned, and we've sent them a month ago. Should have at least gotten word to us magically by. And she lays out a map to a table. We'll move you over to this map. Just 1 second. Oh. And now I'll move you all to the map. It's a map of the greater Valandiir area. You've actually never seen a map so completely filled out before. It shows the listless plains and the gray waste, Tolfir's Pass of the far north, as well as the Farachi Desert. It shows the realm of Soldanus. It shows the Dagger Coast in its completeness, and first time ever, it shows you the far east of the Blighted Shores. We, of course, are here. We've sent folks to the Needle, Brackenshire, and beyond. I believe that in this direction is where this walking rot originating. Somewhere out here. We're not exactly sure where they're coming from. But we will not be the only party dispatched east. There's no rush, of course, as we do have several people on this, but I hear good things about the Crown Collectors. Thought it might behoove the order of both the Allhammer, the Dawnfather, dispatch the Crown Collectors east as well. What say you, even of the Dawn? Okay, you know. You, have this piece of paper in your hand, and that word, Grimtide Reef, just kind of swirls around in your mind as you're kind of keeping to yourself, but find yourself in the library of the Hargrove Estate. Grimtide Reef, Where have I heard that? Go ahead and make a history check.
Natural 20 plus 8.
Yeah, Grimtide Reef. You are no small student of geography. You are a treasure hunter, so it behooves you to kind of know your way around a map. And word Grimtide Reef sparks a memory of you exploring the dungeon of Dias Mordrin. in that he was sort of experimenting with ley lines of raw arcane magical energy, and a likely site that would perhaps have been an efficient way for him to do his experiments with longevity of life was on the large jungle island of Lys, which, if you go to your map, is right down here. You have really no idea what these symbols mean, as they don't really do you any good of themselves. It's just, it's an anchor or a sword. Not exactly a set of directions, so to speak, but it does look like it's part of something bigger. Okay. Uza.
Yes.
You find the Ghost Temple is a very seedy bar. You have to hunch on your way in. It smells of old ale and cigar smoke and pipe smoke and old wood and whiskey and everything that goes along with a kind of a rundown hole in the wall.
I'm going to casually walk up to the bar, sit down, and wait for the bartender to get to me.
Yeah, it's hard to miss you. You see him. He for lack of effort, he's not really like polishing a glass. But you see him just kind of like pouring kind of shakily into a glass in front of somebody. He spills a little bit. And he just looks at him and he goes, "Oh, you're a large fella, ain't ya? What can I get you?"
Give me an ale and some information.
Well, it's 2 copper for the ale. Information might come a bit more expensive. You're looking for?
I'm looking for a man named Dion Baldric.
He comes in here quite often. I don't see him around the place right now. It's a bit early yet, though. He might be here a little later on in the evening. Or tomorrow. Or the next day. Or he's dead and he'll never come here again.
I want to see how legit he's being.
Make an insight check.
That's a 16.
16? He's shaking, but it looks either from age or lack of drink, perhaps, or some other ailment. His fingers tremble, and his voice crackles. It's not exactly a trustworthy enough kind of disposition anyway, but the fact that he's, not really looking you in the eye, but not looking away intentionally, it seems like he's probably telling the truth, that he just doesn't really know where he is right now.
Alright. Am I allowed to take my ale outside?
You can once you've drank in it. Leave the glass, please.
Alright. I'll nurse it until I'm done, and then when I'm done, I'll leave.
Alright. The ale is okay. It's not that great. I've had better, for sure. Seems watered down a little bit. And as you finish it, and I give one last look around, kind of resign yourself with the fact that he's not here. And stand up, feeling a little defeated, and start to make your way out as you pass a kind of a short halfling. And just as you're about to leave, you hear the bartender, "Oh, big fella! Looking for Dion. Here he is." You see the little halfling kind of spin around like, "What did I do?"
I just kind of wave him over and kind of get on his level.
To get on his level is a feat in and of itself, as he is about 3 feet tall, and in order for you to be 3 feet tall, you'd have to kind of not only get on your knees, but kind of hunch your back down. So you're still about 1.5 feet above his eyes, even on your knees. like, oh, you're a big fella.
Yeah, I've been looking for you. Harry sent me.
Harry, how is the old chap? Haven't seen him in ages.
He seems to be doing well. He sent me to find you because I was looking for some information on a beast that I encountered in a vision, and I was hoping that maybe you could help me identify it.
Right, well, I gotta tell you, my memory's a little hazy when I'm thirsty as I am, as it seems just sort of sit at a table and just sort of
will
a spot for you to sit down in across from.
I will flip a gold coin to the bartender and say, "Rounds on me," to our table, and I point over in Dion's direction. And I, as I sit down, I say, "Let's see if this jogs your memory."
And then as the elderly barkeep kind of puts down a pair of fresh frosty glasses of ale in front of you, with that gold, he gives you the good stuff. Take a sip. It's pretty good. It's definitely better than the swill he gave you originally. The halfling is just swallowed by this huge glass in front of him, whereas for you, it's like holding a shot glass between your fingers. Just kind of wraps his hands around it, starts to down it. It starts to dribble between on either side of the glass, down his neck, and the suds and frost kind of peppering the front of his shirt. Sit down about halfway, drank, and just lets out a nice long bellowing belch. Brrr. Sounds like a little tiny bullfrog. Well, now that that's done, tell me about this beast you're looking for. As you begin to regale him with your vision, we're going to take a break.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it is 4:02. We'll be back here at 4:15. Smoke them if you got them.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Are we back, everybody?
I are.
Yep.
How we feeling?
Pardon?
I said, how we feeling? Like 7 shades of hammered shit?
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to, find that well deep within to, rise above.
That's a deep well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Looks like everybody is not only back on board, but online. So, when we left off, we were talking to Koza.
Yep.
We're gonna get right back into that conversation. So, you see him just kind of sit back and ready to take it all in as you have fulfilled your end of the bargain in providing him with ale. He stands ready to listen.
Well, I'll skip to the most important bit. This beast that I saw, it looked almost like a bison, but it was much larger than a normal bison, and it had these long elk antlers and these 2 rows of glowing eyes. It was very strange and very ethereal, and it's been boggling my mind for a couple days now.
How many eyes did you say?
6, and they were all arranged in a sort of V formation.
Well, I've never seen a bison with 6 eyes before, but it sounds reminiscent of an old folk tale I heard. A hill that sees. Some could say a hill has eyes. Forest that moves. Something
Really?
so large and immense that entire canopy of trees grows atop its back. You've heard the old mythical tales of a world living on the back of a sea turtle or some such, right?
Something along the lines of that, yeah.
This is kind of like that, except a little smaller in scale, but I've heard it's a myth, a legend. But 6 eyes is what really reminds me of it. Some kind of ancient godly creature that only the most worthy of the forest have ever encountered. Had 6 eyes, if I remember correctly. 4 or 6 or 8 or something like that. Covered in large horns that adorn not only its head but its body as well. Trees sprouting from its back. That this came to you in a vision.
Yeah.
I'm not really a one for beasts of godly nature. I mostly track game, large wolves or dinosaurs or owl bears, things like that.
And that's okay. And I slam a silver on the table. I say, thank you for all your information. And I walk out.
Okay. Hi, thanks. And he just kind of takes the silver and scratches his head like...
I will... Well, how late is it?
It's like, I'll say 6 or 7 in the evening. Maybe about dinner hour.
Is the library open?
Say that as you approach, and you know where the library is at this point, as you approach, walk inside, you can see the gnomes and humans and half-elves that are kind of packing up their stuff, and looks like they're getting the scholars. I mean, looks like they're kind of packing up their stuff and shuffling papers into satchels, and it seems like perhaps the librarians are ushering people to be ready to leave.
Alright, I'll come back tomorrow. Alright, I'm gonna head back to the Hargrove Estate.
Okay. Get back just in time as the streets come live again with activity, and the nightlife scene starts to really kind of pick up as taverns and inns and bars become a lot more boisterous as the shops and blacksmithing arenas and places of business start to die down a little bit. The inns and taverns start to pick up. Make your way back to the Hargrove Estate. Everybody is there. It appears the 3 individuals involved in the sword fighting competition are still a little battered and beaten, but at least in a relaxed state of mind. See Saziros strumming his mandolin. At this point, Maven actually joins all of you from what seems to be some kind of stroll of her own.
Oh, good. You're all here. I'm going to recount everything that I'm not great with names, told me, and then see what everybody wants to do about it. Everybody else's opinion.
So now recount it for me briefly that we're being tasked to, like, go out into the eastern area and root out undead?
Yes, they've been sending scouts out into the forest. They haven't come back for quite a while. They should have been able to hear something by now. There's more than one group going out there, but with our recognition that we're gaining here, they want us to do it too.
Well, with all due respect, our dance card's a little full right now.
I know. I know.
I mean, if we take care of other things, maybe, but...
Yeah, I mean, we need to satisfy the Inquisitors first and foremost.
Did we have a time limit on when we would have to commit to this?
She wants to talk to us within the week.
Okay. Because, I mean, looking at from what you're describing, that's quite a ways.
Yeah. Because if I recall correctly from previous planning, that after the Heart of the Empress competition, we were going to be heading out to the keep, to the Glisten Keep, I believe it was, or Gladden Keep, excuse me. Out in the Grasping Ridge range. That's where the breakers are. We were gonna do that during the lull time. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Sounds right to me, because we really want to clear our name as soon as possible and get those bounties and get rid of those bad guys.
Get rid of them and keep our heads on our shoulders. So, maybe. Put us down as a definite maybe.
Told her I would talk to everybody else about it before I made any decisions, so.
It is odd, I will notice, that from what the group has told me, these attacks of undead seem to be where you guys have been.
Huh.
The Needle, Brackenshire, and here.
Have we had any words out of the swamp? Rathburn?
I don't know.
I'm sure that's not the kind of place where news flows freely.
I think the swamp has their own issues they have to deal with.
You will remember that you guys did not encounter any undead presence in Rathburn or the Calded Sticks. I mean, anything other than usual in a fetid swamp.
Right.
Certainly not any kind of organized assault.
Got you. Our biggest nemesis in the swamp were the mosquitoes. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I am about as good as I'm going to get right now, and I have a competition. And
yes,
let's hope I'm getting back into my element. I fare better than I did this morning.
Excellent. I think you got this.
I sincerely hope so.
Well, I'll be betting on you if possible.
Oh, bet with if not your money. All right. I've said my piece.
All right, what's the plan, everybody?
Well, I will get up in my foppish finery and straighten my shirt, adjust my sword, look as pretty as possible, and
I saw
get ready. Huh?
A point of some curiosity, now that I'm in a better state of mind than I was earlier today. Who's Kravish?
You see me just kind of get really kind of stern and snowden-faced. That is a story for another time.
All right. I heard your opponent mention it, and I was very confused. But I will respect your wish.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as you all kind of make your way down to the bridge, Vulcan has arranged for the driver to accompany you all to the Silver Sin Inn. It is almost at the heart of the city. As you draw closer and closer, you can see a crowd forming outside of the tavern itself. The point where, once you arrive and are brought to the front doors, you notice that it's pretty much standing room only. There is a large stage at the back of the Silver Sin, and it is so named for a bust of a devilish creature that is now swinging from a pair of brackets above the doorway. The building itself is kind of a white marble facade with a lighter wood interior kind of motif. There are 3 actual floors to this tavern, and a number of rooms. It's actually kind of a tower that goes for about 5 or 6 stories above the 3 levels within the tavern itself. And this is something that kind of blended in with the sort of downtown scene of Dane, as the whole kind of city center rises uphill towards the Dane castle itself. Silver Sin is filled with bards, musicians, minstrels, all seemingly kind of contemplating their own entry into the heart of the Empress. The center of the stage, you see this kind of jester-looking fellow with kind of a trifold hat with bells hanging off of it. He's wearing face paint where half of his face is white, the other half is red. Got kind of a teardrop tattoo or in makeup on the white side, whereas there's a star dripping from the corner of his other eye in white. He's just kind of using his hands as the carousing and the carrying on of the crowd starts to lull to a hush. Behind him you see a number of black guard, and between two of them you see this gleaming platinum trophy. It is in the shape of a heart, and the heart itself looks to be glowing ever so gently, producing pinkish light from the inside. The trophy itself is about 2.5 feet tall. It looks like there's a pair of twisted arrows that swivel and swirl around the perimeter of the heart and form the handles on the sides. Welcome, one and all, to the heart of the Empress, where each one of you shall strive to win that which is most unattainable. Heart of Her Majesty itself. And you can see off to the side this mirror, and it's bolted against the wall, and they kind of pick it up. It's sort of an oval shaped with a very intricate filigreed gold frame. They lift this mirror off, set it onto an easel off to the side of the stage, and you hear the MC approach the mirror. Oh, Majesty, the minstrels await your approval. This your contest of affection. You see a wave and ripple in the mirror itself, and you see within the image of the mirror change from a reflection of the crowd to that of a seated woman. High-frocked black hair, streaks of gray, a very, very regal black, gold, and red flowing dress. She appears to be seated with black guard on either side of her, and a number of an entourage sort of standing on either side of this very plush red velvet lined throne that she's sitting on. Very well. They may do their best. I have high expectations. You require utmost delicacy in my entertainment. Stow my heart to the champion. Very good, Empress, very good. And you can see everybody just kind of cheering as the Empress of the Valzeth Empire addresses you all. Then very quickly the image sort of shifts, and it looks like she was back in the original position she was seated in. She begins to speak again. Repeat the same message, in which case the MC kind of waves his hand and the mirror goes blank. Ah, she must go now, she's very busy.
Lag.
Oh, who shall be first in this, the heart of the Empress competition? You heard Her Majesty yourself. You must bring your A game. You see him give like a cartwheel across the stage. How about you, young lady? And he raises his hand and brings looks like a young dark-skinned elf onto the stage, and she kind of starts to play kind of like a little flute I play with her little tiny piccolo. You hear this very, very soft, very melancholy kind of tune issue from it. which the crowd gives her a smattering of applause. Usually the first up, everybody's really into it. They're still drinking. They're still kind of carrying on. Brings up another gentleman, what looks like a hooved, horned satyr, clops onto the stage and just brings like what looks like a bucket, flips it upside down and starts playing it with a couple of sticks. And really seems like he just kind of jumped up there on a whim. Everyone just seems to be kind of ignoring him for the most part. And he gets ushered off stage. At which point the MC scans the crowd and you see people raising their hand. Me next, me next. He rests on you. Saziros says,
Okay.
"How about you, Silver Scale? Dare to try your hand up here on the stage?"
I do, and I will. All right. Did you see my text?
Did not. Hold on.
Oh, I'm casting Enhance Ability Eagle Splendor. It said at the end of the third, but really end of the second, I meant.
Gotcha. And yourself, I take it?
I'm so smurfly.
Right. So, as you step to the crowd, you can see everybody just sort of turn towards you. And as you go to reach for what I'm assuming to be your mandolin, your hip starts to vibrate almost violently.
I hip? Huh.
As you rest your hand down to see what it is, your hand rests firmly on that of Anthem's Edge. You can feel within your mind, not a voice, an insistence of, come on, man, I was born for this.
All right. I'll start off. I just start with a few dramatic, slow chords. Some of you think you may know me, but I doubt you knew this. And then I will start telling the tale of my early adventures. The searching for something, the feeling of longing, my misadventure in Brackenshire to break into a little bit of comedy before meeting my friends. I will then start to talk about, I will give the tale of Akir, the Doomed. I will then go into, as time allows, I will start to break into everyone's favorite bar tune, Axton Woodman Bloom, Man Out of Time.
All right, give me a performance check. Woohoo!
20.
So as you, I'm guessing you're pulling your mandolin.
Oh, yes.
Start to strum a very slow and somber tune. Speaking of your earlier years, a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed dragonborn striking out to write his own epic tale, eager to soak in as much experience as possible so as to craft that perfect story. And at first, there's a couple of the younger adventuring type people just sort of leaning in. As you drift off into your fortunate failings, you garner a sniffle and a tear or two from some of the older ladies and gentlemen who can relate to a life of loss. As you toddle off and start to make your way into speaking about Adgeir the Cursed and Axton the Timeless, you feel again Anthem's Edge almost shaking in its scabbard. Me and Coach, come on. Me and Coach, I got this. And you can feel sort of your elbow pulling away from your mandolin and your hand just feeling the itch of the grip of Anthem's Edge.
All right. I will then begin to segue into a tale of daring do and action requiring combat, and at the right time, with a flourish, I will draw the sword out big.
As you sling the mandolin over your back, unsheath Anthem's edge. It is pulled with a force, and a brilliant radiant light kind of swings out with it and dusts the entire crowd, and what seems to be some sort of ethereal glitter. Shing! Just this ringing, true, beautiful sound emits, and as you swing and twirl and flourish, air moving over the flute holes that move up a third of the blade start to catch the air perfectly and start to weave this tune as you twist, and you don't consider yourself a master swordsman and someone who is skilled in the art of war. You find that in this kind of environment, to entertain a crowd, Anthem's edge really begins to move on its own and direct your hand. As you finish a portion of your tale, the song that is emitted from the flute, from this sword, just enthralls everybody, and you can see a glow about their eyes as you end with the sword raised high over your head. Everybody stands there for a moment, short of breath. This runs silent. Even drinks and glasses are not heard clinking against table. Finally, they all, well done, yes, 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 woo! Everyone starts cheering, Saziros, 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 Saziros.
All
It's
right.
indeed a welcoming and enticing display.
Yes. So as I make my bows and I get ready to take the stage, I just say, who's next?
Feet are covered in roses, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, better in my own blood that they were earlier today.
You spend the next hour or so just sort of continuing your tale towards people who approach you, wishing to not only hear song of Saziros and his adventuring party, but also to see this wonderful weapon that you have brought with you, to regale the crowd and take part in this competition. And while you're entertaining everyone, you can see several other individuals making their way to the stage, some failing miserably to capture the crowd at all, if anything, and some managing to do something with the instruments they've brought with them. Some of them have none, they just form a spoken song, and others, you see this one, what looks like a dwarf with a kind of a shaved head and 3 tri-beard points coming from his chin. He's got a drum on his back strapped with a cymbal just above it with pulleys and strings attached to his legs and elbows, where he's got what looks like a collapsing accordion device on one hand and a sort of like a pipe flute kind of strapped across his chest that dangles just beneath his mouth. He's got a what looks like a trumpet attached to one hand with an air bladder on the mouthpiece that he can then fill and squeeze at his leisure. He's got a pair of look like bagpipe boot horns sticking out the back of his shoulder. He's also got a pair of small cymbals on the inset of each of his knees, and he gets up on stage and starts dancing. And as he's dancing, he starts playing the most interesting carnival-like Barker music you've ever heard. As he's dancing and blowing his pipes, you see little sparks of color kind of awash the crowd. Couple of little what look like wands on his other shoulder, and he just sort of taps with his finger, and they detonate these little tiny miniaturized fireworks that sort of erupt over his head. Regales the tale of a time when he was young and had a love that he could never see again. Segues into a ship he boarded not long after that took him to seas and lands far away, where he saw all manner of monsters and warriors. He ends with a very a somber but crisp lesson of careful how fast you bluster through life, because things happen quickly. They don't stop to smell the roses. They may wither and die. Finally stops his performance, takes a shallow bow, walks off stage to the delight of the crowd. At this point, people have been drinking for a while. You all have pretty much seen all the music that you could see, to the point where it all starts to sound a little repetitive, especially the following acts. MC, you notice his makeup is a little smudged on his face. He leaves the company of a particularly similarly made up halfling woman. It's kind of a smudge of red and white on her lips. Comes to the stage, straightens up his trifold hat. Oh, wasn't that something? So, where do we stand, people? Have we found our Heart of the Empress winner here tonight? Go, yeah! And you see him kind of raise his hand over the dark-skinned elven woman who in her little flute. Says, a round of applause about this one. And you hear some people clapping, at least out of respect, but it doesn't really seem to be the majority of the crowd. He goes over, he wafts his hands over Satyr, who seems to be kind of more interested in drinking than receiving applause, and nobody claps. He puts his hand over the dwarf with the one-man band outfit. Here, yeah, all right, yeah, that was great, woo! Now, how about the silver-skinned dragonborn? The whole place erupts into a riotous applause, deafening you as people start pushing you upstage and getting you into position. MC reaches down his hand and pulls you back up onto the stage. Oh, my silver dragon scale. It seems the crowd has spoken. What say you, Your Majesty? And he taps the side of the mirror, and the image kind of ripples back into view. You see the Empress. She begins to repeat the exact same message she started with, and he goes, oh, wait, hold on, and he just sort of goes behind it, and he sort of pulls something, and he stretches it, and you see the image shift into that where she's leaning forward and very interested in what is being shown. I believe you are correct. That is definitely winner of the Heart of the Empress. And the winner is, and you hear a completely different voice kind of overdub, Saziros. Sounds suspiciously like the MC. Then the image washes back into that of a reflection of the crowd. Now you heard her, folks. Saziros the Dragonborn is our winner. Everyone starts to applaud and cheer and lift you up onto their shoulders.
No, really? Nah. All right, cool.
He presents to you the trophy, and it's about, like I said, about 2.5, 3 feet tall. Very, very, very elegant, very well made. And you see him take this very small, almost like ballpoint pencil type wand, scribe your name onto the trophy itself, and he goes, there you are! Presents it to you.
I just hold it aloft to the crowd, just lapping up every drop of the adulation.
As you sit there holding the trophy, you see one of the MC's cronies kind of walk up, and he's got this kind of sight glass looking object, almost like a small mirror with handles on either side, and he looks through it, and you see this and this flash of light, and you can kind of feel something has been captured in this moment, and you see a piece of parchment kind of spit out the bottom of this device that he's holding. A spitting image of you holding the trophy.
Steampunk Polaroid.
He kind of takes the parchment and tears it off, and he goes, there you are! It's a free souvenir. And the MC goes to reach for the trophy and take it back from you.
No, hold up. What?
Oh, you didn't really think you'd be able to keep the trophy, did you? And as you look at the trophy, you see dozens of names scrawled on the bottom ring of the trophy itself. And,
So it's like the family cup.
and he says, "Tell you what, where are you staying? I'll let you hold on to it for the night, but warned, the tracking spell enchanted into this metal. I know where it is at all times."
I tell him I'm staying at the Hargrove estate. And I give him assurances. Yes, and I give him assurances that, I will not skulk off in the middle of the night with it.
But to be honest with you, you wouldn't be the first to make that attempt.
All right.
As the
All right, then.
night drones on and the onlookers congratulate you and also congratulate the others that entered the festivities, fear starts to take effect, and after this day's events, you definitely can feel a droning and aching in your body and a readiness for rest.
And I am going to listen to my body and go home.
It's your journey back home in the carriage, along with the rest of your, I'm guessing, the rest of your patriots.
Oh, yes, I am returning as well.
All right. And so we're just good times, great memories, talking about the dwarf and one-man band, the idiot who just ran up on stage beating on the chair.
I didn't know Actor was in the competition.
Here is currently drinking with Drea, and they follow you home.
All right. So tomorrow we head for the mountains, do we not?
I believe so. Everybody get some good rest.
Now, you will, just to keep everybody on track here, just did the sword fighting part of the Empress. Next is going to be the unraveling, and that's in 2 days. After the unraveling is the hand-to-hand combat, the chariot race, finally, the closing ceremonies of the free-for-all.
Okay. I thought it was closer to like 3 days of miscellaneous events before the unraveling, but if you say 2, it's 2.
I mean, after today. After today, it's 2 days until all that stuff.
And how did we figure how long it would take us to get to the keep? Like a full day?
No. It is about... There's a small fishing village, and it's kind of my backwards planning. You go to the map. There you go. You guys are here.
Yes.
What I meant to do was plan for Stonehelm Keep, which is where you're going, to be up here. That would have taken a couple days to get to. Then, if you were just at the Maltrestles, would have been about here, which is only about 6 hours. I accidentally flipped them as far as distance because Stonehelm Keep is technically in the mountains up here, and the Maltrestle estate is in the forest. So I screwed that up a little bit, but it's only going to take you about 6 hours to get to the town of Hystael, which is a lake town in the shadow of the Esping Ridge where Stonehelm Keep is nestled.
Okay.
So we can get there in a day or so. Less than a day.
We could get there in less than a day. I mean, if we I'm not really in the mood to strike out, before the cock crows.
Right.
All right.
We would like to get back for the unraveling.
Absolutely.
Show off his magical prowess.
Just cast prestidigitation and makes little sparks fly above his head.
Show that blundering prig of a prince where the real power is.
Yes.
All right. Well, your night goes along without any issue. The Hargroves do their best to keep up with your escapades as you kind of congregate in the seating room of the Hargrove estate. As the moon starts to rise into the sky, you can all feel yourselves getting tired. You head off to bed.
All right.
Sleeping like a rock.
All right.
Morning greets all of you. You may all apply a long rest.
Yeah.
I don't know why this song has like 2 minutes of weird game conversation.
Yeah, I was like, who's Mike?
I gotta find a version of this song that doesn't have that because it's kind of dumb. So I really like this song, but I hate the fact that it does that.
All right. Before we head out, as we're breaking our fast and getting ready to head out, we need to make sure we have appropriate mountain climbing supplies.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like I have rope, but no.
Yeah, we need to make sure we have our rope and our pitons and pickaxes.
Do I have pitons? I didn't think I did.
So I will remind you that the Marquis did go over kind of this area that you're traveling to, and that there, like I said, there is a shoreside fishing village called Hystael on the shores of the Rybank Lake, which is fed by a mountain river that flows down into it. At the mouth of this mountain river is a gate called the Shrouded Gate. And Marquis did say that the Shrouded Gate is the only easily accessible entrance to an underground cavern that goes through the inner workings of the mountain into Stonehelm Keep itself.
Okay, so we don't really need mountain climbing.
I mean, if you want to get it and bring it, that's totally on you, and it may come to be where you need it, but I just wanted to
point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and does anybody have? Do we have pitons and such?
I was looking at my gear. I don't appear to have it.
See something. I don't think Atgear does either.
I took the adventurers.
Yeah, I had no need to take a mountaineering pack.
Should be easy enough. Go to the general store.
Yeah, I think so. And make sure we got a couple of torches if we need it too.
True. I have 10 torches.
We're good. Okay. All right.
There we go.
And we all have mounts now, correct?
Everybody except Maven. She does not have a horse of her own.
Okay. And we got a replacement cart, though.
I'm going to cast Alarm as a ritual to set up Arcane Ward.
Okay. So, I guess any one of us, or we could ask the Major Domo if they could send somebody out to go pick up a mountaineering pack while we get the horses set up and cart situated and ready to roll. Or is the terrain suitable for cart? At least to get up to Hystael.
Yes, the Maitre Domo rolls out a map to you of the surrounding area of Dane and notes that there is a seldom, I wouldn't say seldom traveled, a lesser traveled trade route to Hystael. It is a fishing village. You do trade with Dane rather frequently. It's not a heavily trafficked road, but it is suitable for use of horse and cart.
Okay. I'll at least be able, we can at least get to Hystael comfortably. All right. We ready to lock and load?
I think so. Unless anyone else has any objections.
So a Dungeoneer's pack costs 12 gold.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to foot the bill on that.
I'll buy one for sure.
The party fund will cover it.
Okay.
And that comes with a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pitons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, and a water can. It also has 50 feet of hempen rope strapped to the side of it.
And Barynor, if you want to carry that, the group will purchase it.
Okay. I got that.
Yeah, I can tote it. I can tote it while we're there.
And as you set yourself out of the city of Dane's outskirts, you have about a 6 to 7 hour hard ride at a medium pace. It'd be 8 hours if you were to kind of take your time. But you definitely can feel the pull of urgency in this matter of getting to your destination. Indeed, you definitely know that you've got kind of a time limit. If my calculations are correct, you are kind of entering the last week of that month you were given, where you guys all kind of have the feeling that you've got perhaps there 5, 6, 7, 8 days, something in that effect, before that time limit runs out, and you are at the very least out that
no reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crunch time.
Getting to be a little bit of a crunch time, sure.
All right, yeah. So we'll eat on the road.
Hey, you're all able to either travel by horse or attach your horses to rings that line the back of the cart and ride within it itself. Who will be driving the cart?
I can. I have proficiency in vehicles.
And give me a animal handling check.
Can I roll the vehicles instead?
You are going to roll. These are newer horses to you. You haven't really had a lot of experience with them as of yet. So we're going to go for an animal handling.
It's both the same roll. It's both the same.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. These draft horses used to pull this carriage, being a farmer and pretty used to driving a cart, your temperament with the horses kind of resonates with them, and you find yourself able to get them moving at a pretty brisk pace without startling them. Pat, you kind of make your way towards the road that leads northeast out of Dane. Ask merchants along the road, and perhaps just fellow travelers, one-horse carts, covered wagons, people riding horses back and forth. Particularly brisk messenger rides past you at a very fast pace. Lulling periods of kind of boredom where you just find yourself alone on the road, surrounded by forest and grassland. So go ahead and have two of you give me a perception check during this journey. Whoever wants to do it.
Wow.
I don't think anybody else has to do it now. Oh!
You were saying?
Oh no.
Damn!
Holy cow. Pretty is the capper. That is like everything you want to do works with a 30. Barynor, you have a pretty keen eye in the wood. This is definitely your favorite terrain, so to speak.
It is indeed.
And you can feel the presence of Luna kind of sweeping a wide perimeter through the woods around the cart, getting information from her. You know that there is a mother bear and her 2 cubs about 100 yards off to your left that is extraordinarily perturbed by your presence, especially Luna, who stopped short of about 30 yards away, begins to move her way back towards you to avoid it. And you miss the sounds of the forest, in particular the birds and the sound of wind through the trees. This is where you grew up. Not necessarily this particular forest, but being in and amongst the woods brings you a certain kind of comfort that only comes with being in a place that you are comfortable in.
I mean, this is all part of the Jasper Wood still, right?
Kind of. Yeah, it's on the extreme eastern side of the Jasper Wood for sure.
I'm going to send my familiar out as well.
Okay. Are you keeping Mr. Wiggles within the trees, or are you going above the canopies?
Well, how thick are the trees here?
They're pretty thick. Especially
so I'm going to have
close to the grasping ridge.
Yeah, I'm going to have him fly pretty low and tight.
Okay, so staying within the trees themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a perception check with your crow, and I'll move on over to what Axton sees.
It's a raven, technically.
Ever. Black bird. Axton, driving the ship, so to speak.
That's going to be a 16.
Axton has you have your focus firmly on that of the trail ahead, and it doesn't take much to distract you, as you are pretty keen on keeping an eye out on all things around you and keeping the group safe as best you can. Distractions of a normal adventurer would notably sway you from your task at hand, because you very keenly pick up on the distant wailings of an animal being attacked within the woods. You can hear the sound bouncing off the trees beyond. It is not dark in these woods, as it is about day at this point. The sun is high, the light is strong. As thick as these trees are, the light does pierce through, and with ribbons crisscrossing across the ground and underbrush. Also, hear the flitting of birds in between the trees, and you look to your right just briefly, and you can actually see little points of lights dancing around the trunk of a tree. Not sure if they're fairies, will-o-wisps, something magical is happening. 200 yards deep into the woods, near one of the more darker regions of the Jasperwood. That doesn't sway you, because straight ahead, you can see that the road is starting to rise ever so gently uphill towards the grasping ridge. And as you're holding firm your reins and pretty much aware of everything around you, you can hear, conjure his familiar, a black raven begins to flap its wings and take off in and kind of zip in and out of the trees, you feel pretty confident that you guys are pretty safe here. There doesn't seem to be anything at least immediately interested in harassing your caravan. You know, as you send your raven into the air, have the ability to see through its eyes and telepathically communicate with it. Do you happen to know what the range on that telepathic link is?
100 foot.
Okay, do you wish to send your familiar further than that and then perhaps report back, or do you want to stay in constant communication?
Constant communication.
Okay. So, a rather narrow band of coverage, your crow or your raven its perimeter rather tight to the caravan itself, and unbeknownst to you, Axton, who can see everything, is able to ascertain that there's some kind of animal attack far off in the distance, and your raven actually went over to investigate and found a looks to be a small pack of wolves attacking a deer and its mate. They were successful in their hunt, where the stomach was torn on the male, female being attacked actively by these wolves. A rather visceral and gruesome display of nature at work. Your raven doesn't dawdle and continues its scan, making sure that you're all very well kept after. As it trails behind your caravan, notices a rider approaching from behind.
It relays that information to me, and I relay that to the group.
Who's in the back?
Probably pose at me, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
You can hear somebody approaching from the rear, and it's just a simple traveler. They don't stop or slow. It doesn't appear that they are interested in you, but they're definitely interested in going faster than you. Here. Can you pardon to make way?
That's kind of interesting because we're kind of at a clip ourselves, and all right. Yeah. Where are you off to in a hurry, Speedy?
Off the Hystael. You?
Same.
Oh, hope to see you there. Just
All
continues his journey, and as he finds that he's keeping an eye on you all the whole time that he's passing you, until about to the point where he's even with you, and he picks up the pace and gallops along down the road. It looks like he's carrying a large satchel. It looks to be stuffed with rolled parchment, and his saddlebags look pretty heavily laden with don't look to be super heavy objects, but definitely full.
Does this guy look familiar?
Do you recognize him?
Huh?
Do you recognize him? He's human. He's got kind of light auburn hair, fair skin, freckles. Seems to be in his maybe mid-20s, and dressed rather plainly. Definitely fit for travel. He's got kind of high leather boots and a hood with a cowl. And
But this is nobody we've seen before.
oh, none of you recognize him.
Okay.
Is Adkir traveling with us?
Yes.
With Drea or without?
He is in the cart. His pony is tied up in the back. And Drea is not with him. She decided to stay behind while you... Or excuse me, that's not true. She is with you. She's in the cart.
Okay. Because they're going the same direction. They're going the same direction.
In the cart with Maven.
Well, girl talk.
Oh, where'd you get your hair done? I don't know, Geralt.
Where's the best place to buy a good whetstone?
This Maven girl talk would be more like, where do you like to punch things?
Yeah.
Where do you find is the best spot for a kidney hit? Is it like here? Is it down a little farther? Does that normally like knock them out? Like, where would you do that anatomically?
Typically, I usually use blades, so a strike to the kidneys is usually pretty fatal.
Yeah, I see. I understand. True.
As you travel, find that the landscape definitely traveling uphill. The point where you can see and hear water starting to flow around you on either side of the road. It's not all-encompassing. It doesn't swallow the road on either side, but you can see a little babbling brook here, a little stream here. It breaks off, it gathers, it trails away, it converges. But you can hear sound of commotion or distant voices and bells ringing off in the distance.
Here we go.
As you approach, you can see the clearing of the trees start to give way, and a certain smell can be associated with this area as a outpost. What looks like some kind of a gate or some kind of greeting structure is built along the road itself, and the gate is kind of a wooden crisscross pattern striding the road and set between two very large trees. There's kind of a two-story tower with a guard holding a crossbow stride its top, kind of it's got a walkway around the perimeter of the top of the tower. There are two guards on either side of this wooden gate, and you can hear the rushing of water somewhere into the forest on either side of you. It's definitely on the left side of the road, so you're not exactly sure how far away it is. And you can see the two guards. They don't appear to be Blackguard. They're dressed rather differently in browns and light tans, clutching shields and swords. Don't look to be aggressive. They look actually kind of bored. And the archer at the top of the tower calls down, "Halt! Halt!" See the two guards sort of ready themselves, and again, they're not being aggressive, but they're just sort of waking up, so to speak, looking towards you. The guards puts his hand on the bit and bridle of your lead horse to kind of keep it from moving. All right, then. And identifying yourselves.
What is it that you want to know?
Well, for starters, who are you, and what business have you in Hystael?
We're the crown collectors, man.
Hey,
Haven't you heard of us?
say that like I'm supposed to know you. Crown collectors, right? Have you seals?
Yeah, I'll break out my silver seal.
Right. All right, seems all to be in order. Right. Come in. And you see the guards kind of grab the edges of the inside of the gate and kind of pull them apart as they split, opening towards you. You can see
Much obliged.
You can see the road begin to open up completely to the point where the forest opens into a wide clearing.
Is there a town or anything?
Oh, there's a completely blank space.
Yeah, you said a clearing. I'm like, okay.
Sorry.
Damn it, it's still rendering.
I'm just looking for something. All right.
Okay. wonderful gated clearing.
The road
Placeholder.
The road is up to this point has been made of dirt, but now you're starting to see some semblance of architecture here, where there are loose cobblestones that the horse hooves are clopping onto, causing an awful ruckus to those sitting in the back of the carriage as the wheels bounce over these uneven stones that make up this roadway. It starts to even out the closer in you get, but you start to see structures becoming a little more frequent and more densely packed until the uphill angle that you're traveling at starts to flatten and level out. You see before you a kind of a sprawling town of shacks and shanty structures that all seem to be surrounding this centralized walled kind of, not really a castle, but almost like a fort made of stone and wood that has another kind of maybe mile or so of smaller structures that surround it on the opposite side. And it all seems to be hugging this football-shaped lake to the best of your ability. Mind you, Yuno's familiar is traveling high above you at this point to where he's able to kind of get a lay of the land. And he can see this, see if I can... have to wait till next session. Might be on the computer. He can see this this kind of oval-shaped lake with a tributary feeding it and a kind of a stream or a very narrow river, allowing the excess lake water to flow downhill. Yeah, here we go. Down. Okay. Show you what it looks like from the air. You can see that there is kind of a modest beachhead surrounding the lake itself with kind of a brownish tan colored sand. Water is quite clear and beautiful. It's not murky or anything. It seems to be quite clean. And the town of Hystael is not a large bustling city, but it's not a tiny little shanty town, sort of somewhere in between. And we'll show you this area. It looks like.
The suspense is killing me.
Don't give me a second. Being that Yuno's Raven is in the air, I mean, this is more of like a low orbit view. Come on. Anyway. In a second. Shut up.
There we go.
Either side of Hystael is the Viperous River. It's not a very wide tributary. It's definitely not something that is traversed by boat or ship, as it is known to travel over rock and down the mountain and down the foothills that make up the base of the Grasping Ridge. And as you can see, there are a couple of bridges that straddle the Viperous on either side of Hystael, make up its access to its western and eastern shores. It seems, however, that Hystael is built along the southeastern bank of the Rybank Lake. Doesn't seem to really be anything built on its northwestern shore, and other than a few sandbars that extend from it, there doesn't seem to be anything of interest across the lake. As you continue further into the village, you can smell the familiar aroma of fish, as several boats can be seen sort of sputtering around the shore of Rybank Lake, some making their way deeper into the center area of the lake, some sticking along the shore. You see several docks and piers poking their way into Rybank Lake, with countless individuals casting line and net into the water to bring the bounty of fish that you now smell. Everyone, welcome to Hystael.
Yeah.
You can hear Seagull and Dock Worker all crowing and shouting and crying orders to lower the nets, raise the crates, be careful with that, that's gentle, be careful. And several of the fishing vessels returning with salty, crusty sailors to a life of hauling fish to and from the Rybank Lake itself. You are now within the confines of the town of Hystael. What would you guys like to do? It's about this point close to dinner time, maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Oh, jeez.
It took you a while. Once you started going uphill, the trip started to slow just a bit.
Do we want to find a residence for the night, or do we want to keep pushing on and find somewhere to camp before the gate?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to trudge much further before it gets dark.
Yeah.
All right. In our recon prior to, do we know how navigable the terrain is up towards the Viprius, down towards the Shrouded Lake? How navigable? I mean, can we go by horse? We're going to have to go on foot.
The Marquis did not give you any indication on what the terrain was like after you got to Hystael.
So you think possibly lodging and somewhere to store our horses for until we're done with we conclude our business here?
I think so.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
And I would encourage everyone to try to keep to themselves. We have no idea who amongst here may be loyal to the Breakers.
Yeah, I would imagine they have quite a bit of influence here.
I get it. No shopping, no sightseeing until the Breakers are gone.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. Well, how about somebody give me a investigation check?
I would assume we're being
I would ask Yuno to do the investigation check. He's the investigator.
Yep. Hold on.
And maybe Barry, if you can maybe get some intel on how navigable the terrain is up ahead.
21.
The terrain, figuring that stuff out is not really great for me. But I can try.
I mean, Barynor.
Yeah, Barynor.
All right.
21 in investigation.
All right.
Boy.
Let's see here. Oh, nice. I just want to say, have a hard time getting information out of people a little more concentrated surrounding the fort, the center of Hystael. But they don't really venture too far into the town itself. They sort of leave these people to their own devices. You do notice that there are quite a few caravans that look like they're shipping fish south west in the direction of Dane. So this looks like it's probably a safe bet that these people are loyal to the crown, where they make their living. They know which side, they know who butters their bread. But again, said, do kind of garner a little bit of, oh, look at him, isn't he just a noble? Blah, blah. So it's difficult to say that you're getting the best lodgings in town. You do come across a couple of options. You can stay at the Silver Parrot. And like I said, you're just like, where is there to stay? And they say, well, you can go there. You're not really getting any description of what this place is like, how much it costs to stay there. but there's a place kind of deep in town nearest to the fort called the Silver Parrot. There's a establishment that is on the bank or on the shore of the Rye Bank called the Pike Bar, and further northeast towards the edge of town, you kind of get a sense that there's a place out there where maybe if you don't want to be seen, it's a place called Tuna Pub.
Well, I mean, I guess we could just walk by those establishments to just see what outside appearances look like.
Do we really even need to stay in the town? Like, do we have like a dome or anything like that? Can we just stay outside of town? Less eyes on us, the better.
Sure. I mean, we could just...
Is there anything that we need to do here at Hystael?
No. I mean, we could just go to the livery, store our, store our cart and our horses for, 2 days and trudge out until we can't trudge no more and put up the tiny hut.
We could do that.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
I got no issues.
Well, let's see here. In a livery, I mean, it's not extraordinarily fast. They don't have a lot of room. Looks like they're going to have to kind of double up some of your horses for the night. They're not terribly small stalls. It looks like they could probably do that. But to store your wagon, he's going to want a little more than normal. And let me just look.
Yeah, what's the normal charge?
Let's see. All right, so it's gonna be 2 silver per horse and 3 gold to watch your cart, because, like I said, they don't really have on the business of storing vehicles.
All right, I'll give him 5 gold.
Oh, well, much will make sure your fatigue is well looked after.
All right. Let's get what we need, lock up what we don't, and head on out.
Oh.
Yeah, we came here for a reason. Let's short to the point. Let's get to where we want to go.
Can you cast your alarm spell as a ritual on the cart?
I can, but please. If we go more than 60 foot beyond it, I won't know.
Won't know.
1 mile. 1 mile. We can go 1 mile, but beyond that, I won't be able to hear it.
Okay. Well, better than nothing.
You'll be able to tell it's let's see here. I would say that whole map from corner to corner is probably about 5 miles. So if I do a little bit of mental math, because I unfortunately didn't include a legend on how this area is.
You could probably get right up to the base of the gate.
Maybe.
I'd like to camp a little bit ways away from the gate, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the plan?
The plan is the plan.
So we've locked up, so we'll head towards the gate, but kind of out into the wilderness a little bit to find a suitable campsite.
The town of Hystael is one that sort of looks like it. Once the fishing is done, the taverns start to liven up, and night starts to fall relatively soon after you guys start to leave. You can feel the energy of the town as you leave it start to pick up a little bit, whereas during the day it was kind of all work, no play. The whole town's reeks of fish. It's just you're not going to get away from it. It's a fishing village. As you leave, you start to feel the outskirts start to swell with activity in the bars and taverns, especially the tuna pub that you passed by that you recognize from Yuno's investigation seems to be a kind of a local haunt. Leave that behind. You are on a mission.
As we're traveling through, do Atgeir and I notice anything, any hidden markings?
Noah, I believe you still have access to Gear's your sheet, right?
I do. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. I'm going to have you and Barynor both make investigation checks with advantage because you're looking for specific needs.
Advantage?
With advantage.
17 movies. 21.
21. Nice. Okay. Yeah, actually you do. There are several. Now you don't venture far into town. You guys are kind of beelining your way out.
Yes.
But you do notice you kind of both Atgeir and Barynor both kind of key in on this. See a kind of it's very subtle, and being Barynor, being that you're kind of new to the world of thievery and roguish tendencies, been in the employ of the Marquis long enough to know kind of thieves' cant and sort of like a sign language shorthand for getting information to people. You notice that there is an inscription that's been carved on a post in the middle of the street, something that be used to post signs to. There are nails kind of dotting the top of this post, and it's meant for there to be a message board, a message center if you're passing by. Kind of read it real quick and keep going. Kind of, you see messages like a very old piece of parchment, looks tattered, that says it's muddy after a rain or something like that. Just kind of like real quick messages to passerbys. You notice this little diamond inscription at the very top of the post, the line through it, and just get the hint that you're not exactly sure what that means, other than that's basically a way of saying we are here. You and Atgeir kind of up on it right away.
Interesting. I give Atgeir a knowing nod as we keep going through the town.
Definitely here, all right. Not exactly sure how entrenched into the town they are, but that's an unmistakable identifier right there.
Indeed. My guess would be they already know we're here.
Let's hope not. I don't like running into them any more than they like running into us.
Nope.
Forest greets you once again as you pass through Hystael and surrounding roads beyond. Starting to get a little late as the crispness of the evening air starts to tickle your exposed skin. Now, mind you, it is the time of year where the nights are starting to grow quite chilly, if not downright cold. It's not long after the sun starts to... Now you guys are deep in the forest yet again, climbing up the foothills surrounding the grasping ridge. Canopies are dense. The sun disappears behind the mountains, and it's not long before you're pretty much in blackness. Soon after that, you can start to see your breath frosting the air around you as you breathe. It sounds to me that you guys up your horses and then went on foot, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to take you something of a minute or two to get there. Based on what your... Actually, you know what? What is your familiar doing? Guessing that spell lasts.
He's just
while,
chilling.
Right?
Yeah, the familiar is created, so yeah, the familiar is just
He's there.
there.
Right.
I mean, I can summon him to a little pocket dimension, but
Yeah.
he's just chilling.
Well, you can hear the rushing of water. It's much more of a rushing sound than that of like a babbling brook. You guys are hiking uphill at this point. There are numerous boulders and rocks that you guys find yourselves kind of navigating. There is no road here. And the only guide you have is that of the Viperous River itself. So what I'm going to need is a group survival check, if you please.
I'm also gonna think about this. How do they get back and forth from the keep? Do they teleport in? Do they fly? Is there a different path or secret entrance? I don't know. Is there any way to try to figure this out?
Well, you will recall when speaking to the Marquis about Stonehelm Keep that it does have... It is a relic of a long-extinct imperial family called the Gladden clan. The keep, the best of his knowledge, does have a working teleportation circle. And I'm sure you will remember the Breakers do have in their employ a wizard capable of at least dimension dooring. I've never seen him use a teleportation circle before, but it is. 24, 6, 20, 9, 24, 20.
Well, at least enough of you guys succeeded to help us two yahoos.
Alright. Saziros and Axton, you guys just barely survived not taking a point of exhaustion as you moved up this mountain face towards the mouth of the Viperous River. But the rest of you kind of keep the two of them from getting injured. Axton, you find that you're slipping a lot in your armor, making a lot of noise. Unfortunately, it seems to be keeping a lot of the wildlife at bay. But that armor of yours is the loudest thing amongst all of you. As a matter of fact, Ivan and Barynor, and to a lesser degree, Koza and Atgeir, Drea, all seem kind of annoyed with the fact that you're clunking around. Do you understand the benefit that it keeps you safe, which then helps keep the rest of the group safe? But it is a rather clunky piece of hardware that you carry about you at all times.
If I could, I'll stop him. I can cast Silence as a ritual. And if one of the more learned survivalists wants to go up a little bit ahead, maybe Barry with his dark vision can go up ahead and just kind of ferry information. Would that work?
I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
It is centered on a point you choose within range. It doesn't say that you can cast it on a person.
Okay, I will. Oh, it's just it's not. It doesn't take effect on a singular object.
It's not like light.
No, it's a sphere of effect.
Oh shit! Used to be different. Okay.
On 5.5.
Huh?
Said, come on, 5.5.
I know. Used to old version, you could cast it on an object.
I didn't know silent was a ritual ability. Huh.
It is 20 feet. I mean, this is a little meta. I'm trying to stop from helping you guys doing things.
Yeah.
You could cast it on yourselves and have Barynor go ahead because he's silent as hell. That way, all of you are quiet while he goes up and scouts. But
you know what? While this is all going up, I'm just going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Now that is cast on you. And if I remember correctly, the range is 30 feet.
30 feet.
That's 30 feet in every direction. As long as you stay
Yep.
close to Barynor, you guys are quiet. And you can add it.
Okay, cool.
Add a 10.
Quieter, anyways.
Much quieter.
Alright, we'll do that.
So, the Viperous River.
I got a simple way to do that.
Viperous River
Let's moving part.
is is about 50 to 60 feet wide at its widest. It does snake along the mountain feet, and you notice that as you travel along the shore, trying to not keep too close to the edge of the river. Definitely try to keep it within earshot, as it is sort of your guide as you travel uphill. Come to a stone bridge. It's about 20 feet wide, straddles the entire width of the river, and it's got kind of a green algae-like coloration on its underside where it's nearest to the water. Stones look very old, but strong and sturdy, like they've endured the test of time for ages.
And it's like, if I remember the map properly, we need to cross the river in order to get to an accessible point at the cave.
I do believe you are correct.
Alright. Lead on, friend.
We'll cross here and camp on the other side somewhere. We shouldn't carry on too much more tonight.
I agree. Well, then we will take exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to ask, what is everybody's passive wisdom? I know Axton's is pretty high.
19 for
But 19
And
passive
mine's-
wisdom?
19.
63.
Okay. Axton, what is yours? Is yours 20?
Well,
Mine is 20, yes.
it depends. Passive wisdom, perception, investigation, or insight.
Passive wisdom, perception.
Yeah, investigation's
then-
intelligence anyway.
Well, on D&D Beyond, they have it listed as 3 separate things.
Well, yeah,
That's
passive-
why I asked the question the way that I asked the question.
Passive investigation
So-
is also used when you are just kind of on your hands and knees looking all over a floor, which is usually what I use.
That's going to be 17 then, not 12.
So our highest passive wisdom perceptions is going to be 17, 19, and 20.
Yeah, mine's 15, so...
Okay. So all 3 of you that I just listed, you notice telltale signs of a tripwire across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say Barynor and Axton in particular notice a very odd slot on either side of the... Imagine a bridge that has like 4 or 5 foot walls that kind of go along the edge, kind of like a railing, but they're brick walls. There are these very odd slits in the inside of that wall. There is a very thin wire drawn across the width of the bridge that just barely catches the moonlight.
About what height is the tripwire
It's
at?
about 2.5 feet. It's not something you could easily just jump over, and if you were riding horses, you feel like there is no way we would not trip this.
Yeah. What do you think, Axton?
Agir, you want to trip it on purpose?
Want me to trip it, or do you want me to disarm it? Because me and my wife are perfect at jobs like this, and by me and my wife, I mean my wife.
I mean, we could disarm it.
Right. There.
I will
Let's
let.
do it. Barynor, you stand over there and get your little tools ready. We're gonna insert them into these slots on the count of 3. Ready?
Ready.
Alright. Let's have Noah. I want you to go ahead and roll a sleight of hand at advantage, because you're going to roll for Atgeir and Drea. And Barynor, I want the same from you. Barrett, what is everybody else doing, by the way?
Just trying to keep watch as best as possible. Just keeping a look behind me.
Okay.
And where is everybody else?
One of these days, I'm going to roll well.
At the base of the bridge.
Okay. Alright. So it looks like Atgeir got an 8, and Drea got an 18. And Barynor, is there a reason that yours is at advantage?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you said me as well. Sorry.
I'm going to take that 6.
Yeah, probably the 6th then.
So I need Atgeir and Barynor to both roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, poopy butt.
No.
Oh, damn it. Hang on, I accidentally X'd out of his character sheet. You said a dex saving throw?
Correct.
Alright.
Oh!
Come on, Atgeir.
Well, Drea managed to dive out of the way, but being that Atgeir, he's kind of an idiot. He's a heart of gold. He's kind of a dipshit.
Heart of gold, brain.
And Barynor, for all your well intentions and all of your nobleness of the forest, you're just not that great of a infiltrator or a thief, so to speak.
I'm still learning, okay?
You're still learning. So as you try, as Atgeir tells you to stick your thieves' tool into the mechanism that is on the inside of the slit and twist, instead you pushed down and actually tripped the wire. This arrow shot straight into your shoulder, and another one shot right into Atgeir, and both of you take 8 points of piercing damage.
I deserve that. I deserve that.
As this freaking arrow is sticking out of your shoulder at this point. However,
Ow.
You guys can't hear her, but my wife is laughing maniacally from the...
oh, we can hear. We can hear.
Okay.
However,
Maybe not with our ears, but with our hearts.
Yeah. Like, not quite to the level of where she was catching my arrows and throwing them back at me, but pretty bad laughter.
Mm-hmm.
However, what you do notice, as you're bleeding from your shoulder, is there is something inscribed of that slit. And it's familiar to you, especially now. It's a diamond with a line through it.
Would Atgeir recognize that?
He absolutely recognizes it as the same little symbol that you saw in town. However, the trap has been tripped. And Axton and where were you during this?
By the bridge. At the back of the bridge.
Oh, this is the start of the bridge, right?
Well, with
yeah.
Saziros and Maven.
And what about
Back.
Axton? Where were you? Same place?
Sure.
So the two of you, when this trap was sprung and these arrows shot into your friends, instead of being distracted by this commotion, you noticed something launch straight up into the air from either side of the bridge, way up into the sky, and this little tiny poof of light. It was almost like the same time that the arrows hit your friends, two nearly imperceptible objects launched hundreds and hundreds of feet into the air. This little tiny poof of light, where they went. Yeah, pretty much like that. However, the trap has been sprung. You really feel like there's any residual danger. You feel like the damage has been done.
Oh.
What was that?
Well, they know we're here, and they know which way we're coming.
Now we definitely need that dome up. All right, let's get across this bridge. Let's find a place to sleep for the night. Rest our egos, bruised as they are.
As you scale the bridge, the three of you that are most perceptible notice there are no further traps. You continue along Cypress River, the north, as it winds and curves and zigs and zags up this mountain face, which is starting to become extraordinarily steep. So I'm going to need one more. I'm going to need a athletics check or acrobatics check from everybody. It's your choice.
Acrobatics.
Finally, decent roll.
21 for me.
Oh, now you want to roll high? Okay.
All right. No, I'm going to need you to roll for not only you, but
Akir.
here as well.
Here, let me roll for Akir first, because I'm using digital.
Axton, unfortunately, you slip on a rather wet rock. That being that you guys are so near the river at this point, because the river is becoming ever more closer encroached by high rocks. It's almost like you're being funneled along the river towards a point in space above you, where you would imagine this gate would be. And you slip, you fall, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. You tumble down a short hill and land on your back. Rosa, same thing with you. You slip on a really wet rock and you fall for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You smack your head on a rather sharp crag jutting from the area about beneath you.
SEAL Team 6, we ain't.
You do manage to make it as you crest over a relatively high spot and find the mouth of the river starting to level out. You can see, like I said, you're being guided along high, almost cliff's edges on either side of you. As you kind of skitter along, it's becoming difficult to avoid getting your feet wet, as the river is now almost completely touching the edges of these cliff faces. You see in front of you, maybe 100 feet, ominous sight. You see a pair of crossing stone outcroppings that nearly cross completely in front of each other, if not for a V-shaped space behind them where the river does a quick dog-leg zigzag around these large cliff-like boulders. Beyond, you can see immense structure of metal, maybe 60, 70 feet tall, a tall arch straddling the entire width of the river, which is at this point about 30 feet wide. A barrier of solid steel and iron. There'll be kind of spikes like studs dotting the entire front of it. Some sort of a mechanism, a lever and wheel and pulley system just to the right of it, with huge chains that drag all the way up into a hood-like mountain cave that covers this entire section of the gate. All found. Shrouded entrance. Stonehelm Keep. That's where we're going to pick up next session.
Well, may whatever deity we believe in have mercy on our foolish souls.
Yeah.
Word to that.
It's like my character's an atheist and I'm praying.
I swear, Roll20 does not want me to be a rogue.
Oh, I don't think so.
No. Roll20 has really been letting me down in the dice department. That's why I use physical dice.
Well, every single roll that's rogue related has been low. Ranger, fine. Rogue,
Yeah.
sub 10.
Maybe roll 20
Yeah,
just
today-
hate rogues, and that's why Akir was having trouble.
Yeah.
He just hates Rogue, yeah, but no. Rogue 20 was giving me a message like, hey, Bard. Be a
Yeah.
Bard.
Well, I want to offer my condolences to the 3 sword fighters. I'm sorry that it was. I'm telling you, it was super, super close on a couple of those battles. They were just really tough.
Not mine.
Just terrible rolls.
Yeah.
Like, I started out good, and then it just went downhill quickly.
I hit like 3 more times. I probably would have,
Yeah,
almost.
Gormir
gotten down.
was really close. Alshiri was super close. Castellan kicked your ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah,
the way it
it
is.
was when you got that poison in right there at the first round, and
Yeah.
everything was a disadvantage. I couldn't do a damn thing.
Dirty, dirty bastard.
I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy with what I did. I mean, I have no fighter trick really. Like, I was just in it to in
Just
it.
let the Wind Ranger do
Yeah, I
his
mean,
thing.
that was the same here. I was like, okay, I learned a little bit of swords play. Let me just have fun, see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking at the 18th for the next time that we meet. June 18th. So,
Yeah, I will not be here.
is all right. But, rest of you, I will see you in 2 weeks. Everybody enjoy your next 2 weeks, and we will see everybody next time.
Hell yeah.
Bye-bye.
Adios. Goodbye to the silent observers.